Oh yeah, now it's working. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of StarchCast. It's me, Potato, and your host, Camoku. Say hello.
Hey guys, uh, quick disclaimer. Some of us are sick, some of us are allergic and sick, and then some of us are just suffering from the pollen. So if we start veering off topic for no reason or start forgetting what the heck we were gonna say, we apologize in advance.
It's definitely the pollen, guys. We're all completely fine here. Ignore this mild dent on my head.
Oh, look, there's a part missing. Wait a minute, what?
Can we fix it? No, it's fucked.
Hmm. Just patch it up with duct tape. It'll be fine. If something starts coming out of it, you didn't use enough duct tape.
Exactly. Man, so we've had an interesting couple of weeks now, haven't we?
Man, it just keeps getting worse. And the
Yeah.
people involved just don't shut up.
Exactly. With everything I see, one thought keeps coming to mind that keeps becoming more and more true. We didn't learn a damn thing from the first Gamergate. And maybe that's not polite to say, but am I wrong? It genuinely seems
Yeah.
like no one's learned anything.
They really haven't, and it makes it worse when you consider the fact that you look at something like, say, what the fucking the dudes from side scrollers basically finding out that what was it? You can actually get thrown in jail by Rockstar if you fuck around and do things that you shouldn't have been doing in Grand Theft Auto 6 specifically.
That's still so dumb to me. Come the fuck on. You're gonna play GTA the way you
Yeah,
play GTA, and all of a sudden your ass is in jail because you just happen to beat the shit out of a prostitute with a baseball bat? Come the fuck
yeah.
on.
But here's the funny thing: it's like normally I would go along the lines of, yeah, that shit would get laughed out of court. Now I'm like, I don't know. Some judges are being kind of fucking weird lately. They've been being mighty unfamiliar.
All I'm saying is George Orwell only got the year wrong.
Well, yeah. Apart from that, excuse me.
You're fine.
Ugh, damn. I like how Kirsche was vindicated by. I'm having a clash of worlds where it's like I've got side scrollers referencing everything that happened in the last 2 weeks, and then them having Kirsche on the show, and then Kirsche also shows up on what was it? Oh, what was the name of his podcast? Because he was also on Gundam's podcast.
I should know who you mean, but the name's just not coming to mind right now.
It's a Gundam is his name, but his podcast has
I mean the
quality content.
podcast.
There we go.
Quality
Yeah,
content, yeah.
yeah. So it's like, and then on top of that, then Kirsche is also doing a video where she's talking about how she for the last 2 years she was covering Bridge before it went from being when it was at the time it was being called DEI, but now for the last 2 years she was mentioning the fact that hey they're coming out with a new acronym for it because they knew it was going to fail, so they have a fail safe. Now they're going to call it Bridge, and sure enough, one of my other podcasts that I like to watch, which is Timcast, also called it out
Hmm.
2 years later, and now Kirsch is going back and being like, "Vindication!"
I saw that, and you see some of Kirsch's newest posts too?
I have not, just because I've had to unplug just because so much was going on in my personal life that it's just like cool. I don't have enough time to actually you know keep my ear to the ground and my nose to the wind. So I had to step back for a second.
That's fair. There's a new one just today, which I just sent to you. Which, I mean, holy shit. As if it wasn't bad enough, now there's new developments even today. It's man. It's just been straight up off the wall, off the wall. But yeah, I understand, I've had to get myself out of it too. That's why I just kind of started doing GTA streams and whatnot. Because,
Yeah.
it's just fucking depressing seeing all this shit go on. It's man. I'm just at that
Let's
point
see.
now where I'm just, oh man.
Wait, so who is this person?
Is this
Direct participant in the info gathering and examination done in the Digital Direct Holdings research paper. Isn't that the one from Take This?
is it? Because this is like a quote tweet off of another quote tweet of Kirsch's stuff. Like this is Kirsch doing like a follow up quote tweet.
Let's see. Daisha. Let me look up her name.
I'm seeing what names are familiar to me. Let's see, MJ De Palma. I know that one's familiar. Then Roca is
All right.
extremely familiar. There's been just a lot
Okay,
of
we go to
stuff.
the bridge website. Let's see. Um, why does it all have to be infographics and so dang colorful?
Infographics, man. I got opinions on those. Maybe one day they'll be polite.
And of course, it's in my home state. Why am I not surprised? Y'all gonna do an event in Zombieland?
All I'm saying is if that state got removed from the Union, no one would be upset.
They tried to remove themselves, right?
Too bad no one
Correction.
let them.
They tried to schism to North and South California, and then just have South California kind of split and do its own thing. And it's like, okay, but how would you survive? They got a reality check real quick.
Yeah, it's about right. But man, too bad they didn't either balkanize or just leave, man. You know, like I don't know,
What the fuck?
it's always a good sign.
Okay, so I'm looking at the bridge board of directors, the executive committee, the executive chair, or the committee chair is is the uh is the what was it? The chief diversity officer of Discover Financial.
Act like Discover as in Discover.
Like the credit card,
Okay,
the
damn.
fucking credit card company. Yeah.
I'm not surprised considering they're trying to do like central digital currencies and whatnot.
Yeah,
But
we've got Discover, we've got Unilever, whatever the hell Milk Pep is, the weather company, Sephora. Okay, that's interesting.
I mean,
Whatever the
Unilever,
heck.
those are the guys who do like all sorts of deodorants and cosmetics and whatnot. Like, if I recall right, Dove is owned by Unilever.
Yeah. Nature Aid. Oh, that's vegan stuff. NBC Universal, Colgate Palmolive, the Ad Council, H&R Block, Brand Safety Institute, Ads Mobile, Campbell's. What the fuck? iHeartMedia is on here?
I'm not surprised. It's horrifying, but I'm not surprised.
In Indeed, the job recruitment website is also has one of their people on this. Actually, their vice president is in there.
Again, I'm
Vice
entirely.
president of marketing communications. Okay.
It's stuff like this that tells me this shit's been like rigged from the start, man.
Oh my fucking god!
Okay,
There's a brand I haven't seen in a long time.
what brand's that?
City Year.
City Year. That sounds familiar.
That's a San Jose that's a San Jose thing. Oh man, I remember seeing that stuff all over the place back home. Not that it amounted to
Education
much.
non-profit dedicated to students and school
Yeah,
success.
dude, they would like have people hanging out after school. Like they had their own people in like full on high vis uniforms hanging out at the schools. And if there was like after school stuff, they did like tutoring and all kinds of like random odds and ends that they did to kind of give people a place to hang out after school rather than having to go straight home. But it
Okay.
was it was one of those things where I'm like, man, I didn't think this would be involved in Bridge of all things.
I'm more surprised, like, how far, like, in some different places, City Year is. Like, it's apparently got 29 high-need communities across the U.S. and through international affiliates in the UK and Johannesburg, South Africa.
Oh yeah, yeah. I at the time I I thought they were just a California thing, but this is fucking wild that they're all over the place.
Yeah, holy shit.
Now I'm wondering. So let's see, because I so looking at So Keisha says here we find there's also direct government involvement. Cheryl Dijus, CEO of Bridge, is a participant in the info gathering and examination done in the Digital Direct Holdings research paper. Okay, so let's look at that. Digital Direct. Let's see. I'd like to find out why my keyboard's RGB is just permanently offline. I'd like slammed my hand down on the entire right side of the keyboard, and now I lost my RGBs.
Good question.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, there's a white paper. Centers on exclusive research commissioned by Digital Direct conducted by Horowitz Research. Let's see. It says, okay, so this one says its headline is brands are missing out on revenue and market share growth by not engaging effectively with diverse communities and media properties, according to research from Direct Digital Holdings. This is the Direct Digital Holdings own website press release.
Damn.
And it says, source, we are the source. Trust me, bro. I totally know what I'm talking about.
It's
Hold on.
always trust me, bro.
Before I even start reading, let me go all the way down. Let's see. Where's their citation? Source, Direct Digital Holdings.
Oh lordy.
I didn't even I hate being right.
Yep. Understandable.
Oh man. Jeez. I don't even want to read this. Methodology. Study included qualitative and quantitative research conducted by Horowitz Research. Online surveys were conducted September through December of 2022 among 1,342 U.S. adults 18 and over, including over 300 respondents, each from Black, Hispanic, Latin, API, and Alphabet Mafia communities. What the hell is AAPI?
AAPI? Let me look it
Yeah.
up. Here's hoping whatever this is doesn't land me on a watch list.
Oh,
What
I'm on.
is AAPI?
Apparently, I'm on every watch list now just because of the way I decided to live my life.
Yeah. Asian American and Pacific Islander.
Mm. Okay, they turned it into an acronym.
I guess so.
You gotta be under the character limit, so you gotta shorten it somewhere. Let's see.
Then couldn't they have just cut off one of those A's? Just had to be API?
I don't even know, to be honest. 300 respondents from each of those communities. So wait a minute. So 3, 6, 9, 12. They've got an excess of 142 then by that count.
Damn.
Okay, so where'd you pull your information from? Let's see. Okay, about Digital Direct Holdings. Owner of operating companies Colossus SSP, Huddled Masses, and Orange 142 bring state-of-the-art sell and buy side advertising platform. Okay, so they're basically an advertisement marketing group.
Okay.
Yeah, they're basically an umbrella company for a bunch of media advertisement. Yep,
Okay.
offers advertisers of all sizes extensive reach within general market and multicultural media properties. They okay, so it sounds like it's just a predictive market team or something like that. Yep. Oh, wow, at the bottom. Digital Direct Holdings is the ninth black-owned company to go public in the U.S. and was named a top minority-owned business by the Houston Business Journal. I almost said Houston, Boston. I'm like, wait a minute.
Thankfully, we're not
Uh,
in the darkest timeline quite yet.
Yeah, but this is okay. It's like so they're they're basically economic predictors. Like they're trying to well for whoever the heck buys their services.
That
Let's see.
seems remarkably repetitive.
Yeah, but I feel like at one point it's like you can only what was it? It's exactly like what the heck's his name? The dude that does Mad Money.
Jim Cramer?
Yeah, Jim Cramer. It's like that's his whole shtick right there is he tries to look at what each day's stock market prices look like at the end of each day and then tries to extrapolate from there. But like, okay, cool, 24 hours by 24 hours, there's only so much info you can take in before you realize that you don't know what the hell you're looking at.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, someone could write a law in a different part of the world that will somehow, in the long run or in the short run, actively trample on whatever trends that was going on in the stock market on that day.
Isn't Jim
And
Cramer
it's
kind
just
of a meme, though? Because, like, anytime he predicts something good for a company, everyone's like, oh shit, watch out, this is gonna crash. Or when he
yeah,
predicts the worst, it
yeah,
just goes, yeah.
he has pretty much made himself a meme, and he knows it too. Like that man has gone on record to say, "Yeah, I understand that this happens. It's just because there's only so much that you can do." Like he himself has admitted that there's only so much you can do
Okay.
as far as trying to predict what the stock market's going to look like. Granted, he also tries to double like backpedal and try to justify what he does, and it's just a whole it's like cool, so you understand the nature of your work, you also understand the futility of the nature of your work, and yet you're doing it anyways because someone somewhere out there is willing to buy your services to try and flip a profit regardless of the cost.
Kind of sounds like a sad sort of living to me.
Hmm. It's a gamble every step of the way.
Yep.
Multicultural consumers report taking positive action as a result. Okay, I'm done. Man, I don't want to read this. This is
Well,
it.
then
Just
don't
it just
fucking read it, dude.
it's just screaming corporate press release. There is nothing here. It's just like here. 8 out of 10 diverse consumers said they feel more positively about brands that live up to promises to make a concerted effort of support to their communities, and alternatively, 8 in 10 say they feel negatively about brands that don't live up to their promises. They are trying to sell you a fucking product.
Yeah, that's
What
just,
promise?
I can feel, like, as you're reading that out, I can just feel my eyes glazing over and just the need, skip ad, skip ad.
My yeah, my brain cells are going, what the hell are you doing? Abort. Get
Yep.
out. Why are we reading this shit? We know what it is. Ah, man.
Yeah.
This just screams we're trying to make ourselves look good so people buy more of our shit.
Some things
Oh,
will never
look,
change.
there's a oh, okay, this is just other shit. SEC filings overview, annual reports, quarterly reports, section 16 filings, stock data. I mean, they're pretty transparent. I'll give them that, but it's like cool, but what the hell?
Mm.
Okay, going back to Kirsha's image, we've got McDonald's is involved.
Is that why their burgers have gone so far downhill since,
I haven't eaten
a while
McDonald's
ago?
since I haven't eaten McDonald's since before the pandemic, to be honest.
You ain't missing much. Like, once, COVID struck, then the, quality went shit.
It's like even when I do want to go there, I just want to go there for the freaking ice cream, but the ice cream machine's always broken.
I always go for fraps. Like, I could care less about the food, but the fraps are, they're good.
But yeah, wraps are pretty good, but then like it's like cool. It's like I could pay an arm and a leg for a frap coffee from there, or I can just go to Wawa and do the same thing for like $5, which is way cheaper, and it's like a 24 ouncer.
Nice. I don't even know where the
And then of
nearest
course,
Wawa is.
And then, of course, my stupid ass being the caffeine fiend. Yeah, give me 2 energy shots and double up on the espresso shots, and then also make that main drink a double shot espresso as well.
Sounds like a good time to me.
It's like I will see and taste and catch sounds.
Again,
And then
dude.
I'm yeah,
Sorry.
no, it's wild. It's just like, why do I do this to myself?
Wow, there's no Wawas within. Hold, let me count on the map how many states. One, two, three, four. At least 4 states of me.
How many departments does a freaking food chain actually need? So you've got the director of US media for McDonald's. You've also got the vice president for US customer engagement of McDonald's. Let's see, reading just through this picture, is there anything else?
Didn't McDonald's used to have like a hamburger university?
Did they?
Yeah, literally. Like I remember, like we all were talking about that shit in high school, and like
Yeah.
I even made the point, kind of a joking point, but still, like why do you need to go to a school to learn how to flip burgers?
Uh, I mean, if they had a specific way they were cooking the meat, sure, but like their meat's pretty much frozen and pre-prepped, so
Yeah, and like we've all
uh,
seen the videos that came out from fast food. It's not like there's any real skill to throwing the shit into that machine and pulling it out at
yeah,
the time.
yeah, the machine does it for you. That's why I liked In-N-Out so much, because In-N-Out, the dudes actually knew how to they knew how to set up the grill, they knew how to flip the burgers and everything, and it always came out really nice. And same with the like how to prep the buns and everything too.
Yeah.
Let's see, we've got.
Sorry.
Oh, okay, cool. This is interesting. Marketing director, pain and cardio, Bayer, the freaking pill company.
I'm not surprised. Like,
Eh,
Bear's a pretty fucked up company, and there's been multiple lawsuits that they've had to settle out of court related to multiple fuck ups of theirs. I'm not
Yeah.
surprised they're on something like this. They are one of the
Let's see.
most
We've
corrupt companies in the world.
senior manager, media strategy, Bayer, consumer health. I'm surprised Boeing isn't on this list.
They're too busy shooting or sorry,
They're
like having their
whistleblowers.
whistleblowers just happen to conveniently
Exit the
remove
server.
themselves from the mortal coil.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, a lot of these companies I don't know what they are. Oh, look, Microsoft advertising. Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, exactly.
Bloody hell. Let me retweet this shit real quick. Oh, hey, look, there's a. There was more to this post than I thought. Let's see. While looking into people discussing the DDH research paper, there's this article on PR Newswire. Also mentions Michael Roca, executive director of Elevated Omnicom Media Group, shared his thoughts on the white paper on what this means for brands. There was a time when brands had a Hispanic budget, a black budget, etc. Today, it's everybody's responsibility to reach these audiences. Brands and agencies need to. Okay, I'm just. And the siloed approach doesn't work anymore. Dude, just sell good products and people will buy them. It's as simple as that. You can't
Let's
make it
not
any
get too
easier.
crazy here. Why would they be that intelligent?
See, Omnicom Media Group is a massive org. It's because it's people that are trying to justify their reason for being in departments that shouldn't exist. Let's see. LinkedIn page showcases one of their partners, HACE or HASE, however the fuck you want to pronounce it. Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement. Yeah, that's an alliance I won't be part of. Come mierda, pendejo.
Oh yeah.
I'll just pop out the full Spanish and start cussing them out. Why the hell do I need your help? Let's
See,
see.
Kayate, right? Tch.
It's like I've made it this far on my own. Why the hell would I need y'all's help now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is interesting. Has partnered. Oh, Jesus! This group is actually partnered with the Fed Bank of Chicago.
Not surprised.
The CIA has attended their career expos. So the CIA is in. Okay, so that's where your government's involved in.
Yeah. If it ain't one three-letter agency, it's the other.
Let's see. They had a national summit in Gala. There's an archive of it. Uh, Leadership summit with speakers from Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, CIA's unclassified equity action plan. Well, if they haven't abandoned the plan, it's because they have a backup that they can use that no one's going to be able to track now that the cat's out of the bag.
Oh, speaking of cats out of the bag, do you hear the new Lunchables thing, which is that Lunchables apparently contain dangerous amounts of lead?
Wow.
Yeah, like
The
that's
whole time or just now?
yeah. I'm not sure, but just like apparently the news broke yesterday, but it was all over Twitter today. New research has shows that Lunchables have contained chemicals found in plastics that have been linked to reproductive problems, diabetes, and certain cancers, plus high
Good thing I
levels
don't eat that
of
stuff.
lead, cadmium, and harmful PHTALATES.
Mm.
So man, I used to
Phthalates. Phthalates. They're called phthalates. Okay. Wow,
phthalates,
that's a cocktail you don't want to be ingesting.
and I've ingested a good few of those over the years.
See, because cadmium's radioactive.
Is that why it
Last time,
hurts when I pee?
by my check, that shit's radioactive. Last I saw. So
Yeah.
unless they have like a neutral isotope that doesn't release radiation, you should be fine. I guess on a large enough concentration, it starts fucking you up. But man, I might have to consider. I might have. No, that's fine. At some point, I think at some point in high school, I actually ended up donating blood, so they probably filtered that shit out of my system without meaning to.
Theoretically, like the
No, literally because I ended up donating platelets, and the way they do that is they basically yank your blood out, and then they siphon it into three different bags, and then whatever is in the third bag is what they keep, and they just keep reinserting and resiphoning out your blood
okay,
until they fill that third bag completely. It hurts like a mother, but once the process is done, there's a full bag of this substance called platelets, and just basically they extract the plasma from your blood.
okay, that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, I went pale as a ghost for the next week after that process. I would not do that shit again. I did all that just for a fucking burger.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm. Made me even more irritated when, like, 3 years later, I found out you can actually get paid $150 for each time you do that process.
Damn, and all you got was a
Yeah,
burger?
all I got was a fucking burger.
Was it at least a good burger?
Yeah, it was an In-N-Out burger.
Is that a good burger?
Yeah, look, people will say, yeah, In-N-Out's overrated. Look, shut the hell up. The double double's fucking delicious, no matter what anyone says.
Ah, okay. That's like me with Burger King. Like, I loved that shit, and I will go out of my way to defend that shit because I think they're the
I'll defend the
best.
Whopper.
Yeah, like they have some of the best burgers on the market, like them and Dairy Queen.
Mm-hmm. See, I haven't tried the Dairy Queen burger yet. I have had their wings though. Their wings are pretty good.
Never had their wings, but I have had their burgers, and their burgers are very good.
Nice. Wow, AT&T is on this freaking list.
I'm not surprised. Shitty cell phone carrier on a list like this? Yeah, it's about
Let's
right.
see. As mentioned above, the CIA is working to enhance engagement with existing and new partners, including but not limited to Thurgood Marshall College Fund, HACE, HACE for college and universities, Alaska Native Science and Engineering Program, Society of Asian Science. Okay, so basically they're just incorporating themselves, like they're just hardwiring themselves into every college that they can get into, whatever the hell corporate gray is.
Not sure.
OSTEM, whatever the heck that is. I'm guessing it's a STEM program of sorts.
Sounds like it.
Capital DC Pride. National Black MBA Association, Out and Equal, Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, Society of Women Engineers. Okay, so there's just, if it's work related, trades related, college related, you know, industry related, they want in on it. Yep.
That checks out.
I'm seeing
Unfortunately.
university, AT&T. North Carolina specifically. Good. So it's just yeah, we're gonna hardwire ourselves into everything now and keep an eye on everyone.
Very unfortunate, but
Oh
just
man.
entirely unsurprising to me.
Oh, there's a video from the Omnicon Media group that she posted too.
Lordy. I didn't really go too far into it when I was looking. I just saw that. I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. Because, like, I saw this about 5 minutes before we joined the VC thing. So I was like, oh
Oh,
man.
geez, this organization was around in '08.
I'm not
Uh,
surprised.
I feel like this is something that's just been cooking in the background for like the last 30 years, and it's just now starting to pop off with mixed results.
That does check out, especially considering how stuff started markedly going to shit, like, in 2012. And then people only started noticing just 2016 and later.
Yeah. Um, See, the craziest thing is I was born and raised in the middle of all this shit in California, and I'm just wondering what the fuck is, how did I not get programmed?
Luck
Is it
and
just
talent?
luck and talent, or maybe I'm just like I've got a couple screws too loose that just none of it's taking hold.
Nah, you're built different.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not about to. Someone down the line's gonna be like, "Yeah, no, he's the main character." I'm like, "Shut up,
Do you
we ain't
wear
doing
y-
that here."
do you wear your military surplus LARP outfit with a helmet?
Bold of you to assume I have military LARP outfit. Oh man.
Yeah, fair enough.
No. Look. I'm just gonna say is cargo pants are fucking comfy as hell, and they just have plenty of pockets. So I can put chips in one bag, Arizona sweet tea in another pocket. My back pockets could carry more snacks. I can put more snacks in my front pockets too. The side pockets will also carry stuff, and then if it's like a full pants and they've got pockets next to the shins, I can also put stuff in those pockets. It's just what's not to like about having 15 different pockets?
Good question. Not sure. Sounds like a pretty ideal situation to
I
me.
just uh, I just saw the image you sent me.
Yeah, like that's like in response because like there was something that came out like around the time I saw that image. Image was actually in reply to it. Like
Oh wow.
new evidence comes out that like came from Europe, not Africa.
Yeah,
So someone quote tweeted that tweet with that image and was like, "I have to save this."
yeah. Oh, this is crazy. This reads like an actual threat. Cheryl Daja, founder and CEO Bridge, agrees. We are at an inflection point for brands to remain relevant or disappear into infamy.
Well, I hope they're prepared
Uh,
for infamy.
I'm gonna take this time to shout out Parallel Economy.
Yep.
Because yeah, everyone is gonna need the emergency escape option. Uh, just download Parallel or look up Parallel Economy and just download it to your phone, and it shows you all the shops that you can go to within your local area, hopefully. And if not, then you'll find stuff that you can travel to and go check out.
And I'm pretty good at bartering. All else fails.
Yeah.
Like if shit hits the fan that point where we're stuck just bartering with each other, I can barter both my experiences as a carpenter, because I do have some carpentry experience, plus
Hmm.
food and whatnot.
Oh, my whole skill set is around building stuff and working on machines. So it's like, if you see a giant mech in the distance, just know I probably built that dang thing.
Yeah, really.
I was like, what the fuck?
If you see a decently constructed barn in the way of your mech, it was probably at least partially me.
Nice. Oh, this is funny. One of the responses: look at this matriarchal group of people who are only composed of Americans trying to police other people globally on how to morally act. Such a beacon of diversity.
Some things never change.
Oh, it continues. Also, two of them are from McDonald's. Unless it's a different McDonald's, I thought these people hated their guts.
Yeah,
Oh man, the common sense is strong in this one.
but you said so you said though this thing's been going for like 30 some odd years, right?
It sounds like it because if this stuff was established in '08 and the CIA is involved, they've probably been cooking this entire idea up for way longer.
Kind of makes me wonder if the Ghost Stories anime dub may have been a trial run.
Ghost stories?
Yeah, the infamous anime that had a American dub with the story that supposedly the studio gave them free reign to do whatever for their dub.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, even though it turned out that was not in fact the case, and like it was pretty obvious, especially when you look at the dubs from the other countries, and it's like, so this is their story. This is everyone else, which stayed very faithful to the Japanese one, and we're just supposed to believe this narrative that ghost stories just happened to, or no, that it's just the Americans had free reign to go ham.
Huh. Can you like message me
Yeah,
what
if you
the
have
title of it was so I can look
Crunchyroll,
it up later?
hold on. I'll actually send you the Crunchyroll link to Ghost Stories if I can. Hold
Cool.
on.
Let's see.
Ghost Stories. Oh, hey, you can share from the Crunchyroll app. That's a new feature. There you go, just sent it to you. The thing is, though, like, about this dub, like, you'll see the, like, things saying, like, like, oh, yeah, they were given the thing, but, like, from everything I've, like, both seen from actual studio, executives and whatnot, like, that false story, like, oh, yeah, we were allowed to say whatever the fuck we wanted was not, in fact, the
Mhm.
truth. Like, and it's just, like, man,
I'm trying to find a quote
what quote's that?
from it's a quote from a really old CIA director from way back in the day.
Oh,
I think it
lordy.
was from like the 2000s. And this dude basically like apparently he's quoted saying it's not on record, but he's quoted saying by one of the dudes that worked as his like right hand man or whatever that if he had to go rogue to completely take control of the government himself so he could protect the country, that he would, because he knows better. And it was like this wasn't some dude who had like been driven to do that because he'd been through too much combat. The dude's just basically a pencil pusher who just thought, oh well, I know the answer to everything, so I should be the one running the show.
Many such cases.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's bullshit. I'm trying to find it, but I'm not having much luck.
It happens, dude.
Um, trying to see if there's any quotes from him. Excuse me. Whew, man.
You're excused.
Um, yeah, I ain't finding shit. All right. Oh, and of course it was the Central Intelligence page, so I'm not gonna find the information I'm looking for there.
Ah, fun.
All right. Let me hop on Kirsch's page real quick and see what else she's been up to. There's bound to be more shit.
Oh, always.
Hey, she's got a 10% off code for gamer subs. Nice.
Neat.
She's trying to bring back the Razer Naga Classic.
Maybe one day.
Oh shit! Hey, she quoted the Lunchables post.
What'd she say on that?
Is this why I have brain damage? I ate so many Lunchables as a kid.
That's the common fucking quote tweet going around. Like, she said it, Ludmilla said it, like, five or six mutuals I have in my friend
I'm gonna
circles have
quote it with
said
my
that
own
shit.
flavor of stupidity.
They're flavoring stupidity now? Back in my day, we
No, no,
had
no,
to
no. I
eat
said, I
crayons
said,
for flavor.
I'm quoting it with my own flavor of stupidity.
Like I said, they're flavoring stupidity now? Back in my day, we had to eat crayons for flavor. Though I suppose I'll open up Twitter so I can see your flavor. I'm gonna guess it's piss and vinegar. Oh, did you see the Flork drawing of Riona, by the way?
No.
I'll DM it to you. Hold on. Alright, sent it to you right now. Because, he did that,
Nothing like some self-deprecating humor to finish the night.
yeah. Like I said, post your Oshi and maybe I'll draw them badly. So, Riona sent her VTuber avatar and,
Oh shit.
Flork complied. And one of the comments, you said badly. This is literally just Riona. Am I missing something?
Hold on, hold on. Oh, the Socks VTubing agency. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep. That's just Riona in a nutshell.
yeah, exactly. I've just been raiding into her these last couple of streams I've been doing, and it's always a good time.
Yeah. I haven't. She actually follows me, which is weird because I don't do shit. I'm like, why the fuck you following me?
She followed me at one point too. I don't know if she still does, but like, let me check actually. Uh
That shit's funny though.
oh,
Fucking
incredibly.
Socks. I applied to Socks. I failed. I failed to get in, but that's fine. These guys are fucking hilarious.
I sent an email asking like for an application form. They never got back to me.
Oh, it was a Google Doc that you were supposed to fill out. It was all in there, like in their bio and whatnot.
Okay, because I never. I must have been like before I found, or yeah, before I found them.
Yeah, this was like, it started. The whole recruitment process started in the beginning of, actually, at the end of February into like March 7th, I think is what the recruiting period was. So from like February 21st or 22nd going into March 6th or 7th.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I was like, I was like, post a conspiracy you believe in on like dead internet theory.
I mean, that one's just the truth at this point.
I was just like, fuck, there's more bots on here than people. I'm surprised if I actually run into someone. So
Yeah.
whenever I see Johan picking fights with someone, I'm like, oh, word, he's picking fights with another bot today.
Yep. Like, I'm at this
Uh,
point where it's like, wow. Because, like, there's
it's like,
been
fuck.
yet another quote unquote bot purge, and yet the bot
Yep,
problem's worse now. And now
yep.
they got pictures.
Oh yeah, they got pictures now. That's no, the thing that makes me laugh is like what Nerva's gone quiet because that's just because he's focusing on his own thing. Johan is basically just hanging out with every other VTuber that decides to talk to him. To where now there's like multiple art of like, you either got fuck, what was their name? You have that one fruit bat VTuber that is hanging off on his arm. That was wholesome as fuck. And then there's like other ones where other VTubers are hanging out with him. And people are like just foaming at the mouth because Johan's got all this like commissioned art going out, and it's just wholesome as fuck, and people are hating on it.
Shocker there. People get mad over the dumbest of shit. Like I said, maybe a week ago, People
Yeah,
hate to see others being happy or having any sort of enjoyment now.
yeah, it's so strange. Looking at this Lunchables pack, to be honest, like the pepperoni with pizza never tasted right with me. Or sorry, pizza with pepperoni never tasted right to me. I didn't eat much of those. Mine
I
was always the
yeah.
cheddar crackers with the free Oreo that came with it.
I've had some of the different flavors over the years. Like I've had some of the cracker ones, I've had the sandwich ones, I've had the nugget ones, I've had the nacho ones, and quite a few other flavors. And no, none of them were right. The pizzas were the worst offenders.
Yeah.
Kind of a shame though about the whole possible radiation and lead and whatnot thing though.
It's easy to fix. It's just, depending on how much of the stuff you've ingested, it's like fuck. You may or may not have a good time. Cause it's like, okay, the cadmium is one thing. That's take some iodine tablets and maybe, or who knows, if you didn't eat large concentrations of it at any given time, you should be okay because your body can kind of filter that stuff out as long. And also, this is banking on the idea that it's an inert isotope of cadmium, which if it's inert, cool, it's just gonna do some minor damage here and there because it's not actually releasing radiation. It's not gonna cook you.
Thankfully.
Apart from that, you've also got what else is it?
Lead.
Yeah, the lead's just I don't know what you can do about that. Um,
I could make a joke like, is the lead counteracting the cadmium?
probably. This could be a cocktail that just cancels itself out somehow.
Nah, man, it turns you into Superman at the end.
Sheesh. Trying to open a new fucking tab. Come on.
You using Twitter on the computer?
Yeah, just because it makes things easier. There we go. I got it. Speaking of Riona, here's another one from 5 hours ago, and it's the your birth month will be your role in an anime.
Oh yeah, I think mine was like Kudere or something like that.
She got October. I can't read that out loud.
Huh, hold on. Do you hold on? Let me go into your thing so I can look at her feed real quick. Uh, hold on. You said 5 hours ago?
Yeah, it's a five. That's
Oh,
from
Rule
5 hours
34
ago.
bait, yeah. Apparently I'm Yandere. This is a whole different one than what I've been
I'm
looking
trying
at.
not to. I'm trying not to get your shit, hammer struck by the freaking YouTube moderator. So I'm just trying to keep it copacetic.
I mean, if you heard the last one I did with Wolf, like you know I'm beyond the point of giving a fuck at this point, dude.
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah,
that got pretty wild. I got to listen to it again.
yeah, like that was 5 hours, and we just kind of went off the rails. Like I did some rather cringy flirting a couple of times, and that was fun.
Oh my God, here's Johan going at it with just this one's just stupid. Drinking culture will be tackled in capital letters. Will be tackled in the next cultural revolution. And Johan
How's
just
that?
retweets with this. Yeah, Johan's retweeting with this idiot ain't no. It's like it's already being tackled now. It's too fucking expensive to buy anything. At that point, if you're buying liquor, it's either because you gotta use it as an antiseptic or to disinfect, because it's too expensive to buy actual alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. Like at this point, the best way to get alcohol is if you can still the shit yourself. Like if you have your own stills.
Yeah, you just get it fuck tons of corn and do it that way.
Even if not corn, like there's plenty of other stuff to distill to make your own hooch.
Yeah,
Like hell, if you have the cash for alcohol, maybe distill your own like some of the shittier alcohol to make slightly less shitty alcohol. Not kidding, but they're...
Holy
Sorry.
shit, those look fancy as hell.
What's that?
Cabal has a set of smart, what's they called, smart dumbbells, because you can adjust the weight. There's
Oh,
a dial on it where it like sets the weight, and then you yank it out of the stand that it's in, and you have however much you set it to. That's the weight that it pulls out of the stand.
what do you mean by Cabal?
Uh, Cabal's he's a horror VTuber.
Oh, the VTuber. Okay, I was just making sure that's what you meant, and you weren't talking about like some sort of
Oh
new
no no no!
brand or like the Mortal Kombat character or something.
No. If I start spouting out names, yeah, it's gonna be VTubers because it's like I may not be a big name in the scene, but I have my people that I like.
That's fair. Like I really got to start watching those types again, but I just I don't know, like
Oh,
ah
he's doing so I think he stopped doing streams. He's focusing on doing was it long form content on YouTube, and like he did a chronological breakdown of Five Nights at Freddy's, but it was a cold read, so he doesn't know a damn thing about it.
okay.
His reactions were fucking hilarious. He's like, what the fuck? We're just putting destroyed animatronics together to melt it down and make more horrors. What is this shit? Who is funding this?
Are you sure you wish to know that, Mr.
Yeah,
Cabal?
just yeah. It's like don't ask so many questions. This is not gonna end well for you.
I gotta say, my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's breakdown was probably the one from Wendigoon.
Yeah, I gotta watch that one too. I think he's also gonna do a breakdown. Oh, I saw his breakdown for Uzumaki. That was nightmare fuel I didn't need.
I really gotta watch that. Like, I'm not up to date on Wendigoon content. The newest thing his I've seen was Ruby Ridge.
Yeah, Ruby Ridge, and I think apart from that, I think the other one I watched was oh, what was it? So I watched Ruby Ridge, I watched Uzumaki, and then he also he did a breakdown of like one of the books of the Bible. Like
Oh,
that was his most
nice.
recent his most recent upload.
Nice to see that he didn't forget his YouTube roots.
Oh, he still does it. He actually went ahead and started a whole podcast called the Weird Bible Podcast.
No, no, but like what I meant by that was like there are some YouTubers who like I mean like the podcast thing is nice, but like what I mean is like some YouTubers who start on one thing and then just like never go back and then seem to be like really ashamed of what brought them to YouTube.
Fucking sucks.
Oh, what sucks do this time?
It's the post your Oshis and I'll draw them badly. And
Oh, that one, yeah.
Shady Grid posted a gif of Pippa, and he just posts a fucking a crudely drawn pig rabbit holding a nondescript gun shape.
Hold on, let me scroll down because the newest thing I have from Socks is
So
the
go to the 6 hour tag.
6 hour. Let's see. Potentially female, blank, whale, piece of paper with words, a bee, a grandfather clock, um, a crudely drawn desktop, booba, ghost. Ah, there we go. Yep.
Oh no, this is funny. It's someone posts this funny frog socks drawing. It's just a blank canvas.
He,
Bow is just a crudely drawn cartoon whale.
that shit was funny.
What's this one? I don't know who this is. She's wearing construction gear. And then he just draws a square, puts a smiley face on it, and types into it radioactive stuff.
I'm sure that's a good sign.
Let's see. Oh, Avispa.
Avispa, that's a name.
Yeah, this is a V2. This is another VTuber. It's just it's Spanish for wasp. He literally just draws a shittily drawn wasp.
Nah, clearly that was a bee man.
Yeah, clearly it's a B. Avispa is one of those that like I came across it because a DJ buddy of mine that does his sets on Twitch like decided to punk me with it, and it's basically her reading out the fact that the human body is made of 98% water.
Okay.
She finishes the whole she's doing this whole bit in Spanish, so she's like, "Yeah, did you know that the human body is made of 98% water? Well, in your case, you're made of 98% dumb and it cuts off at the end.
Fun.
I started losing it. I'm like, that was funny, but fuck you. Someone put Oro Crony and it's just a grandfather clock. Nero-sama is just the code.exe file. There's Riona. Okay, someone put. I guess this is Mint. This is Pomo Rain Puffs their OG VTuber setup, and it's just a green ghost. Oh hey, more Calliope, and it's just a stick figure. Gura is a sock puppet. Uh, Tenma is just a puddle on the ground. You only know it's her because of the ears. We've got geez, I remember this one. What's her name? This is the 14-hour mark. I'm just going down through all these to see what the shitstorm was. Shit, I forgot her name, but I know who she is. Um, it's just another crudely drawn stick figure. Let's see, Hosho Marine. Yep, that's pretty much Hosho Marine. I'm not even gonna describe that one. Um, okay, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Oh, this is funny. You've got this is this is funny. It's Sox's drawings. It's one image is Matsara, the other image is Hosho Marine, and then I think this is fuck. It's Pippa's Ocean. I'm blanking out on her name for some reason. Everyone keeps calling her the Walmart version of this VTuber. Oh, fuck, what's her name? Anyways, this is supposed to be like the this is supposed to be like the in canon. This is supposed to be like the mom that made this VTuber or something that has her own VTuber, and then fucking the first image, hags, hags, hags. It's just Socks and his team cheering.
Nice.
There's a Socks brand soy jack. They're pointing at a dude on a grill in the distance.
Ah, Steve. I love that guy.
Steve's just there enjoying his life.
Hell yeah, man. Making good egg sandwiches, too. Apparently.
Nice. I haven't had a decent egg sandwich in a while. I'm gonna have to try that in the morning.
Yeah, like they actually put out a recipe for like Steve's egg sandwich. And it's
Yeah,
apparently a pretty
I'm
decent recipe.
nice. I'll have to try it then. I'm gonna be doing I'm supposed to be making a rotisserie chicken pot pie for tomorrow's dinner.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be doing like I'm either taking a whole chicken and boiling it or rotisserie cooking it and then deboning it and whatever shreds I manage to get off of it without disintegrating the skeleton is going into the it's going to be going into the pot pie. My problem is that I think it's better off to. I'm modifying the recipe because I'm like, no way in hell you're going to be able to debone it if you rotisserie the dang thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to boil it. And I'll try to not do it on such a high enough flame that it turns the meat to rubber.
Good luck.
Oh, it's easy. I just also have to make sure to pour some salt in there. Um, let's see what else we got. Oh, my fucking repost. Oh shit! I thought I quote retweeted it. I guess I commented on it.
What was that?
Oh, it's the Smugglana saying this is canon, by the way, and it's a Costco members card, but it's not even her. It's the dude from
The whale?
the
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, the well, what was it?
Brendan
See,
Fraser.
everyone says it. Yeah, it's Brendan Fraser, but I haven't watched The Whale, so I just know him as the dude that survived all the Mummies movies.
Man, those films.
Those films are actually pretty good. Those were my childhood.
Oh yeah, same
Honestly, I
here.
don't.
That and the Scorpion King. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think I should have been allowed to watch those the first one when I was like I remember watching that when I was like 5. That shit scared the bejesus out of me as a kid.
Oh, same here. Like, when I was a little kid, after seeing those movies, I was like convinced there were scarabs and shit, and like beetles scared the hell out of me for a little while.
Yeah, yeah, the scares were fucking creepy.
Yup.
Oh man, I actually the funny thing is that like after that movie came out, I think later that year or the year following, I actually went to Disneyland and I got on that ride. I fucking regret it.
Oh
I
yeah.
regret it to this day. It made the fear even worse.
How so?
Oh, at that time, I was already scared shitless, and then when I saw that there was a ride, I got to go on it, and I just like it creeped me out even more because what was it? It was during the advent of the 4D shit.
4D? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
you know how like they had like a okay, so it at one point in time they actually had a thing called Shrek 4D,
Okay.
and you would be sitting in the theater, and whatever was going on the screen, there was some way that you were actually being affected. So if there was fire breathing, all of a sudden the entire room felt like you were getting blasted by hot air.
That is pretty
Um,
impressive.
yeah, it's like all of a sudden everyone's wondering why the heck the whole room just got hot. Another one is if there's like a river chase scene, there's water splashing around, and if you're getting water splashed onto the camera, you actually got spritzed with water.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a whole fucking setup, and it was a whole function and a half, and it was awesome. But like, oh my god, they did the same thing with the fucking Mummy ride, and it wigged me out for like a good week. I didn't want to watch any movies after that. I just could not sleep to save my life.
Co- Come on, share with the class what they do for the mummy ride.
So if I remember correctly, they actually had a bit where you were getting sandblasted sometimes whenever they did the whole like, oh, I turned into a fucking sandstorm and come after you. You were basically going through the film. So you got to see this at the very end, the scene where Homeboy got dumped into the pond of like, black murky crap where his soul's trapped or whatnot. I don't remember much. I just remember the like at one point you actually they actually managed. I don't remember how they did it, but they actually managed to trick you into thinking that there was scarabs running on top of you, like you were trying to like bat them away and shit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, but it just made the whole thing worse for me because I'm like, oh my god, it's real. Then it's like, what else was it? Ah, man, yeah, and like the whole time, I think like the way they managed to make it work is that it's like you're basically going through a roller coaster that transitions into a river ride that transitions back into a roller coaster. And there were some segments where you were actually in place, but because of all the theater effects that they had built into segments of the ride, it felt like, sometimes it felt like you were actually flying in the air. Other times you were, you know, actually, being chased in a car and whatnot. So if there's like a heavy turn, you would actually feel like you were getting yanked in that direction.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, the 4D era of like rides like that was it was pretty fucking cool. It's just like they did so much though that I don't think it it paid off in the end. Way too much effort, not enough return.
Not surprised, unfortunately. speaking of effort and returns, did you ever play the PS2 era Grand Theft Auto games?
Grand Theft Auto 3 and San Andreas. Yes, I never got to play Vice City.
You're missing two others actually that were also on the PSP.
Oh, oh yeah, 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 yeah. You had what was it? Um, oh, and
Vice.
then there was also yeah, Vice City Stories, Liberty City Stories, and then you also had Chinatown Wars for the DS.
That's actually considered part of the same universe that GTA 4, 5, or yeah, 4 and 5 are part of.
Really?
Yeah, it's not considered part of the quote-unquote 3D universe, which is your PS2 games.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, like I actually just found that one out recently, which is part of the thing that drummed up my interest in why I started playing through the GTA games again.
Okay, that's pretty cool then.
Yeah, granted, I had a little bit of a skill issue, and for my last thing, had to use cheat codes so I could get the steering just right to do a specific mission. But yeah,
What was that the mission with the RC plane?
no, I'm doing Liberty City Story, so it was a mission trying to rescue a couple of folks from a police shootout.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I haven't played that one, so
If you
uh,
can, like, play the stories games. They're excellent.
yep. Oh my God, for Tango, what do you got for me? Go
Oh
home,
Lord,
Ubisoft. You're on crack.
what'd they do this time? Or is it still
Compare
about
edition.
outlaws?
Yeah, this is compare editions of Star Wars Outlaw. Standard edition, basic game, Kessel Raid bonus pack, $70. Gold edition, basic game, Kessel Raid bonus pack, 3 days early access, seasonal pass, 109, oh, these are euros. Ultimate edition, basic game, Kessel Raid bonus pack, 3 days early access, seasonal pass, elusive infiltrator pack, Sabak Ace pack, digital illustration book, 130 euros.
That is still insane to me. Like, you're telling me, like,
Yeah,
as if everything else wasn't enough of a spit, like a bit of spit put in your face. Now there's these price points. That's
yep.
insane.
And then they got day one with Ubisoft Plus Ultimate Edition. Everything plus all the hundreds of whatever games are included in Ubisoft Plus. So they're trying to peddle their subscription service.
Not surprised. I'm half certain the subscription service is about the only thing keeping them afloat right now. And they make a good
Yeah,
chunk of cash with all the nostalgia baiting and throwing like all their older games and whatnot on the subscription service there.
it's like what is I think Xbox is saying that their subscription service like they are acknowledging that okay we've hit the peak and now we're just nose diving because they can't do much else. They are literally tied to whatever's in that subscription service. If they try to start pumping out more games to put in the subscription service, whatever profits they can make off the games are going to be undercutted by said subscription service.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yep, and PlayStation's done the same fucking thing because they tried to emulate the subscription service from Microsoft. And they're in even worse condition because they don't have games coming out. At least Microsoft, when they did it, had games coming out the wazoo. There was no end of games that were coming out. There was even they had to go ahead and well, what was it, platform indies because they were trying so hard to go for this stuff. Whereas PlayStation didn't have anything coming down the pipeline. Whatever they did have, there was a bunch of controversies around it. Like what was it, uh, Quantic or whatever was the company.
That sounds familiar. Yeah,
Yeah, they got caught basically lying about how the SSD on the PS5 is the only reason why their game would work on the PS5 and nowhere else because the SSD is a crucial part of this. But then it's like the just normal SSDs that came out at the time were running circles around the SSDs that were available for the PS5.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Companies lie about shit. That never
hmm
happens.
And the CEO ended up like he went ahead and like what was it, restricted comments and then straight up just ended up privating his account because he got into He tried to initiate a verbal fist fight on the internet, and he was getting his rear handed to him in spades.
In a battle of wits, he arrived unarmed.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the Sony subscription service, like, what was it, PlayStation Plus? That used to be so much better before it balkanized. Because, like, with PlayStation Now, when that was a thing, like, it was the best cloud-based subscription service out there. Like, it had some of the best games from the PS, like, some in the PS2, but mostly just the PS3 era to PS4, and, like, it was all really fun games. Like,
Yeah.
once they reorganized and made different tiers and whatnot, like, even the library shrunk and came worse. It's a shame.
Yep.
Sorry
Yeah,
for
it,
changing the
it
subject.
is. Oh no, 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 it's fine. It very much is a shame because it's like, for fuck's sake, everyone is telling you, hey, don't do this. It's gonna, we don't want this, and they go, oh, well, that's not up to you. It's up to the market. Well, it's like, dude, your fucking customers are your market. Listen to what they're telling you, but
Yeah.
they think they know better. But that's just because you got a bunch of people that aren't even actual gamers running the show.
Yep, and that's
So
half the core of the problem. They stopped listening to the gamers and started listening to the asset
whoever the
holders.
yeah, whoever the heck is part of the board of directors. That's one thing that I'm like, I understand for like movies and whatnot, because those are like conglomerations, or it's collaborations between giant corporate conglomerates where it's like movies are being made, but it's like all these different studios are doing the filming, and then you got another company that brings in the stuntmen, and then there's the catering, and then there's the actors, the talent, the extras, et cetera, ad nauseum. And then you got people that make the sets and make all the building props, and it's a whole sprawl. Okay, cool, but then you try to apply those principles to the video game industry, and it's like, dude, this is just like a group of people in a room punching code together. It's not that deep. Why are you over here trying to dictate how this is supposed to run? It's why Anthem failed so miserably, because they had a Hollywood executive trying to steer the ship.
Anthem
And this dude,
still pisses me off because you can see in the environments it was clearly supposed to be a Dragon Age game, but instead we got Anthem.
for what it was, I actually enjoyed Anthem. It's just that this thing, they didn't know, there was no story. There was no story. There was no um the game was like just shit quality because you were always bugging out. And what was it, just like, what was the biggest complaint? And I had this complaint too: the loading time, the menus within menus, that the whole UI was shit, the loading times were shit. um
I'm
and then, like, oh
listening.
yeah, you have to do these like very tedious quest lines that don't really do anything. Like, oh, I just spent 40 fucking minutes doing these five exact same quests that did nothing to improve my loadouts or nothing. You had better luck just going to kill random things and getting loot off of it.
It's reasons like that why I don't touch Destiny 2 anymore.
Yep, same. Actually, what was it that for the longest time the biggest complaint with Destiny 2 was the fact that the exotic drops were set to like stupidly restricted um um RNGs, where it's like almost nobody was doing it. You actually had to do your weeklies to get a week. What was it? It was like a legendary for the weekly, and maybe it turned into an exotic, but that wasn't always guaranteed. Then they started trying to remedy that by doing, oh, if you do specific challenges, you get an exotic off the rip, but it was always exotics that you couldn't pull exotics that you didn't have. You kept getting like a repeating number of the same exotic time and time again. Their whole system was broken too.
Destiny 2
And
really is just a worse Western gotcha.
yeah, and then even after, and let's say you manage to somehow Like, look past the fact that this was before Bungie managed to break away from PlayStation. Bungie was still fucking up even after the PlayStation breakaway.
Of that, I am unfortunately well aware.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's fucking ridiculous. Um, yeah, it's just, and then on top of that, like, what was it? The community managers were constantly being told, "Hey, you don't want to do this. This is not what we want. Why are you guys implementing this? What are you guys doing to fix it?" And it's like, okay, man, you're not going to listen to your fans, so why are you surprised that everyone doesn't have faith? Now, mind you, when Forsaken came out, they managed to make a comeback, but then everyone found out, there was a data mine that was put out on the internet that showed all this content was already there. They just had it locked behind a paywall. And then after Forsaken comes out, and they managed to break away from PlayStation. Another data mine gets leaked, and it's the same crap again because all this stuff is already on the fucking disc.
I'm entirely unsurprised by this. Greed from these companies that do shit
Yeah,
like this, has no bounds.
yeah.
And I know, like, that's kind of a cliched point, like, oh, corporate greed, blah, blah, blah. But, like, when it comes to game companies, especially after the advent of horse armor, it's very much a
Mm-hmm.
thing. And like
Yeah,
Kurokio said, uh, horse armor is the perfect counterpoint that destroys any arguments against the slippery slope.
yeah.
Because, yeah, ain't that a depressing thought?
It is, but that's why, like, um it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm looking at it going, damn, this game had so much potential, and it's been neglected, and now it's like, cool, I like the direction they're going with the story, but I just can't be bothered to play it
Yep.
because I don't want to. It's like I am too far gone to try and catch up. Like, I stopped playing after Forsaken. I didn't do Beyond Light. I didn't do Witch Queen. I didn't do um what was it? I didn't do Lightfall. I didn't do any of, and then there's a new one that's coming out. I think it just came out. It was a new DLC drop, and I'm just like, okay, cool. You guys lost, and you went through the hole that the big bad guy made into the Traveler, and you're in a whole new dimension now, or some shit like that.
Is
It's
that
like,
for Lightfall?
the end of Lightfall was basically, oh, hey, guess what? We lost.
Which is just amazing, of course.
Yeah, it's just like, what was all the fucking effort for then?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you did so poorly, and all for nothing, man. Like, that's
Yeah.
just. Like, I mean, fair enough. Like, I got nothing against stories like that. But, like, I don't know. I feel like for Destiny, it shouldn't have been like that.
Well, it's like, well, so from what I remember, it's like, okay, Osiris is training you to use your strand powers, which is supposed to be you embracing the darkness. Like, you're now actively, instead of just using stasis, now you're using strand, which is a different form of darkness, and it's like, all the time that you were supposedly, all this time that you could have been actively helping while also mastering your powers, like, you haven't fucking done that before. No, you are strictly stuck with Osiris training how to use this power. Meanwhile, the very people that know you're the only line of defense they actually have, because no one else can fight like you do, is having to face off against the entire Black Fleet, and then just gets massively,
Oh, that's a
like, they didn't
big
even
ass
stand a chance. They
spider.
got
Here you
fucking
go, kitty.
wiped. It's like, it's basically, yeah, a hand came down and backhanded the entirety of the Guardians the Vanguard didn't stand a chance. The freaking Guardians didn't stand a chance. The last city's defenses didn't hold they failed their job to protect the traveler. Fucking Rasputin, he actually got one tapped.
Which is insane to me still.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like it was already proven that Rasputin couldn't beat him the first time, and they teased the possibility that this time Rasputin could have figured it out. No, now he's just in an exo because, you know, we had to save him, even though he can't do shit against the witness. And it's like, cool, you mastered your powers, but guess what? You wasted too much fucking time because now you guys lost.
Which that is so fucking dumb.
Yeah. And it's like now there's a giant hole in the traveler, and the witness is gone because he went into the hole, and it's like, oh cool, let's go after him. And then the whole teaser trailer is, oh look, Cade's back.
That is still fucking dumb.
I'm
Like,
like,
dude.
you gave him the most dramatic fucking ending.
Yeah, it's like all that only for it to turn out, oh hey, guess what?
Yeah, and they play it as, oh, it's okay. I'm here now, wherever here is, and it's like,
Man.
bro, like what the fuck? What is I didn't even want to know what direction the story was going in at that point. I'm like, you freaking, that death meant nothing.
Yep.
Fuck, Supernatural has done better comebacks than that, and it's because it worked in the system of how Supernatural's story was written.
Yeah, this did not work in that way.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's almost gonna be like, well, Supernatural also had dramatic endings that got downplayed. Yes, but because shit was circumvented because there was, you already knew how the systems worked. They just, the characters themselves didn't know how the systems worked.
Yeah.
But it's like at one point, even like I think what was it, near the like last couple seasons of the show, one of the Reapers literally tells the brothers, if you guys die again, we will not even bother reaping your souls. We're just gonna let you float in the void, which is just it's a fate worse than death.
I believe that was season 11.
Yeah, and that's just them telling Sam to his face, you die again, it's game over. You'll just fade into nothing.
Yeah, I think that was season 11, which was the last season I watched because it was already
Mm-hmm.
kind of wearing thin then.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I tried a
and
couple of these episodes of season 12 and couldn't get into it.
after season 11, I'm like, I don't have time for this anymore. I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Like,
my wife kept going, and she goes, "Oh my God, Chuck's the bad guy now." I'm like, "Okay, fuck this, I'm done."
really? Apparently they changed writers entirely for season 15.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, and apparently there was some kind of emotional, Destiel, I guess, type of scene towards the end.
Uh,
You know what
eh,
that fucking ship is, right?
yeah, I know of it. I'm just like, okay, fine. Like, do what you want. I've lost interest in the show anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, fair. Like I could have seen that as a brotherly love kind of thing, like your brothers in arms, not
They
fucking.
could have they could have written it that way, but it's like, fine. You guys do what you want. It is what it is. Um, but so another like thing that just completely is see, like, okay, here's one big example. So how come with like Destiny, Anthem, you've also got, what was it, Suicide Squad being the dumpster fire that it is, you have all these games, all this money, all this corporate involvement. How is something like Buckshot Roulette, Lethal Company, Cruelty Squad, hell, even Warframe, for crying out loud,
just
like War, huh?
just pure like just pure burnout from the AAA industry. Like all these
Yeah.
games, like Buckshot Roulette and all the ones you mentioned, like they are doing as good as they are because of burnout and the fact that they're just good games. Because people are realizing now that the new shit is just slop.
Yeah, and mind you, you don't like Helldivers, but fucking Helldivers too.
Yeah.
That's like okay, there is corporate involvement there, but these guys, no, no, we're just here to make a product.
Mm-hmm.
They're not trying to. They're not trying to push you on something. They're not trying to tell you. They're not trying to tell you that if you don't like this game, you're a bad man or a bad person. No, it's hey, here's a game. You should get to shoot robots. You get to shoot bugs, and you know you're doing it because it's fun.
Wait, Nerva has the game now, by the way.
Oh shit! I gotta get in Nerva. we
Yeah,
gotta we gotta shoot the bugs, Nerva.
yeah, got
Oh man,
gifted for his birthday.
that man is gonna get so much inspiration for his stories because I think what was it he was doing like a story series for like what was it Nervex Salvage Corps or something like that
Something
or Deep
like that.
Space Mining, yeah. um but yeah, and then like Warframe's been around for like the longest time. I remember when that game uh I remember when it wasn't so in depth as it is now
When I
to
first
where
discovered it
like
was like 2014, and like you had the option of having a character with a bow staff or other shit.
yeah, and then was it like yeah when I first got my PS4, that was my first introduction to Warframe, and oh my god, I fell in love with the game.
I first discovered
And
it like just regular PC, I think, back when it was
yeah,
really new.
yeah, and then you ended up having what um fast forward to 20, you know, like around you fast forward to where you've got like all the different events that they've got going on. You get Second Dream, you get all this other stuff. You get lore where it's like, hey, you're not actually in the suit yet, and then you are in the suit later on. Now they're doing Warframe 1999.
Warframe 1999. What's
Yeah,
that?
dude. So it's like you have an event that happened recently that I think I told you about it, where it was like they confirmed Dark Sector is actually canon to Warframe. It actually takes place before Warframe, and it ends up becoming ultimately what becomes Warframe
Okay.
in the future. Yeah, 1999 is leaning heavy into that shit because the trailer I'm actually trying to look for because the trailer for Warframe 1999 has the dude from the previous season that they did, and they're introducing a new Warframe that you can play as, and she is also in the same freaking timeline. Uh
Interesting.
yeah, and that dude, oh, I'm sorry, I'm nerding the fuck out over this, but it's like holy shit. They are leaning so heavy into this that they actually named the those two specific, the dude from Dark Sector and this new chick that's also a character now in her name's Aoi. They're
Oh,
both considered proto frames. They're not even codenamed war frames. They're just called proto frames.
interesting.
Yeah, so they're leaning heavy into Dark Sector, and I'm here for it.
Nothing wrong with that.
I just gotta get back in the game and start playing. Just like get myself up to date because I am so far behind. I gotta play through all the, and then at the same time I still gotta do Helldivers. It's like man, I have a really busy year ahead of me.
I understand. I have one hell of a like if I were to actually like just go and explore my whole backlog, I don't think I'd have even an ounce of free time, dude. Because I got a massive backlog.
Oh, same. I, I'm staring at a pile of PS3 games over here that I need to play. I've got a pile of Xbox One games over here. I've also, if I go look outside, there's a pile of PS4 games, and I know there's also like a bunch of Xbox 360 games, PS2 games. It's and that's just the stuff that's out in the open. Um, I'm not even counting the stuff that's in storage.
Yeah, I understand. It's yeah.
And I'm about ready to just be like, cool. That's just gonna take a back burner permanently, and I'm just gonna focus on these two games that got stuff going on right now.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I'm doing my Grand Theft Auto playthrough, which I already kind of cheated myself out of the proper experience by using some cheat codes, is because like I've always wanted to just sit back and actually like beat the GTA games.
Right.
And like I've had these in my backlogs because most of what I do like a lot of the time is just kind of screw around and just beat people up with baseball bats and whatnot. So like actually
Yeah.
sitting back and playing the missions, I don't really have the
Hmm.
patience for the cutscenes because if I'm playing GTA, I want to play GTA because
Right.
in the at least Liberty City stories, the cutscenes while they are interesting, like like for the missions, like I mean they're good for the story if you care about the story, but like the
Hmm.
cutscenes really I don't think matter for this game. But like it doesn't really matter because it's just a fun game.
Yeah.
Like I I even actually had at one point every Grand Theft Auto game for the PS2, even San Andreas, which I've never had good luck with San Andreas. Like every copy I've had somehow killed itself, which is
Dang.
yeah, it's weird because like I've had like one time I had it for the PS2 with the GTA trilogy release, which came out, got it, and then the next week the disc decided to break, which was fun. So I ended up going and getting another copy of San Andreas, and that lasted for about a month. And then one time it was fucking data corruption of all things.
Yep.
Like man,
That's just so much bad luck.
yeah, no, it's one of the reasons why I find it very hard to like even look at San Andreas even now, like that I could emulate.
Um. See, I think the only time. Yeah, actually, the one. So I played a lot of. What was it? Oh, what was it? The one game I played a lot of was as a kid. It was Grand Theft Auto 3.
I was always a
I
Vice City kind of
n-
kid.
I never finished it though.
That's me with Vice City. That's kind of my like if I were to actually like use a literary term, like to the actual proper meaning, like my white whale is
Hmm.
Vice City. Like I've only ever gotten like 25% of the way in and then just someone stopped me.
Yep.
Like GTA 3 is pretty fun though. If you do get the chance and like if you had a new Xbox, like the Xbox Series like one of those consoles,
Hmm.
GTA Plus is like $6 a month. That's why I'm playing the definitive edition versions like on my own time. Like they're kind of shitty, but like on the console they're actually not too bad. Like they're the most stable releases.
Nice.
Sorry for going
Oh,
off
okay.
topic.
Oh, no, no, it's fine. I'm just looking more at the Warframe stuff. Apparently, one of the channels I used to follow for lore for Destiny 2, they also did a playlist where they were doing Warframe lore.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they did what was it the first video, World of Warframe, Birth of the Tenno, and then it goes through all the stuff. So you got the Second Dream, which was the first big event they did, the War Within, Teshin and the Twin Queens. Oh yeah, and then in the first one, for Second Dream, you had you met the Lotus and got lore on them, but you also got the Stalker. This is someone that would pop up and kill you at random times. Let's see. Yep. Then the Sacrifice, Balas, Umbra, and then I think Umbra was a Warframe, and then how the Warframes were created. The Chains of Harrow, Rel, the Red Veil, and the Man in the Wall. It's basically like the assassins shit. You had like this one rogue group from the Tenno. Chimera Prologue, Forging of Paracesis, Ballast Downfall, Fortuna and the Solaris, The Rise of Solaris United, The Orb Valis, Deadlock Protocol, Parvos Granum, Corpus Founder, The Creation of the Railjack, Cephalon-sized Memories of the Old War, and that's a two-parter apparently. Oh, The Infested, okay. Apparently they were used to create Warframes. Sands of Inaros, Baro Katir, and the Ancient People of Mars. Nice. And then they've got the top 10 story moments as the last episode. I probably won't watch that one though.
Okay.
But yeah, And then you've got, when was it, Warframe 1999 happening, and then I think there was, yeah, what was it? One thing I remember a buddy of mine was doing, he was like sitting down and watched all the Warframe trailers, and they go hard. Doesn't matter which trailer it is. As the trailers go, as you go through more and more of the trailers, they just keep topping how they introduce the new ones.
Nothing wrong with that. Good advertising, it goes a long way.
Gauss Prime was fucking badass how they introduced him though.
Okay.
He's basically the Flash, but if the Flash was not didn't follow a moral code, he's just, okay, cool. I'm just gonna blind fire in this direction, run up to catch the bullets, and if there's targets, I'll just redirect the bullets towards however many enemies are in the room, and then just keep going and just let time catch up with them.
If it works, I guess.
Yeah. There's at one point where it's like someone's trying to close like a blast door to separate himself from the fight, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm not letting that happen." Charges up, speeds off at like Mach Jesus, manages to like jump through the crack in the blast doors, and then lands, keeps running, runs right up to the dude that he's supposed to be chasing after, and then just boops him on the nose, and just ends up the sheer tailwind of him picking up so much speed when it catches up with him shoves the dude back. All he does is just, you know, pokes his nose, and that's it.
He becomes meat pudding, huh?
Oh no, he just hits the floor. He just hits the floor, and he's all scared of the guy, and Goss is just there, like, just, hopping on his toes, like he's just having the greatest time of his life.
Okay.
And then he's supposed to be the opposite to. He's supposed to be the opposite to. Oh, dang it! What was the dude's name? Here, let me look up who he is, because there's this, like, the exact opposite to Gauss is this one Warframe that literally eats everything in sight.
Grey goo.
No, 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 no. His whole thing, he's basically like he is basically this like, you know like 10-foot tall boss Hagen looking dude, but he has a giant cavity where his stomach should be, and it's like you have his head, but then the cavity where his midsection should be is a mouth itself with eyes. The dang thing looks like a nightmare version of like, what was it? Oh, I'm trying to remember. Take Kirby inflated, covered in metal, make it scarier than it should be, and then, you know add some Totoro shenanigans, and you get pretty close to what this thing looks like.
I mean, Kirby conceptually is already terrifying. It's like a little pink thing that eats you and gains your friggin' skills or power, whatever you have. But again, the only way it gets the shit is by fucking eating you. How is that not conceptually terrifying?
Yeah.
Though I suppose there are folks
Although
who yank it too, that's so what fucking ever, I guess.
although with Kirby, it's whatever it eats, it goes to a different dimension.
I mean, fair enough,
What?
but you're still getting eaten by something that's
Yeah.
not even like an eighth of your size.
Yeah, and then where Grendel, it's he fucking eats you and it's game over. That's his name. It's Grendel. I'll send you the screenshot for him real quick. But Grendel's whole shit is his belly opens up, and if he absorbs you, that's game over. This dude just turns you into energy. There is no coming back. Here, I'll send you the link so you can watch it. Because
Man, we went from government intervention to vor of all things.
to Cyber Ninja 4.
Yeah.
I'll give you. It's actually funny because the way they describe. So this is, oh shit. I probably should have sent you Grendel Prime, not Grendel. Let me see. Here we go. Oh, hey, it's a double feature. Nice. I'll just send this one to you.
And it just kind of seems a little goofy.
Yeah, but it's like then you take a look at the lore and it's like, oh my god, these two dudes are probably the most terrifying. And I thought Limbo was bad enough
You
because
know,
Limbo is basically the Mad Hatter, except you know Limbo's whole shtick isn't that he's teleporting with his hat or whatnot. Because there's like there's some like stories where like apparently the Mad Hatter's hat is magical or some shit, or he's just like murderous or whatnot. In Warframe, Limbo basically makes the Mad Hatter look like he has control over reality. Because one second this dude is taking off his hat to bow at everybody that's surrounding him, and the next second when he finally does the bow, everybody what was it? Everybody that was surrounding him is now on the floor in pieces.
which is nuts.
Yeah, the whole idea is that like he just bends reality and that's it.
Damn.
Here, let me see if I can send you an image of Limbo. Here we go. Yeah, so that's Limbo.
Alright, I'll open this up real quick and take a look. Okay.
Yeah, he's got a top hat.
Kind of looks
Actually, they
like
make it, huh?
an old grandfather.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that I sent you Limbo Prime, and it's he looks like an Inquisitor or like a grandfather, but then like the original Limbo, it looks like the Mad Hatter. They kind of change the themes every time they do a Prime.
Okay.
Yeah, and Trinity is actually the if you're someone who likes to be the team medic but also wants to devastate the it doesn't matter which Warframe you pick, each one has a shtick that makes them devastating.
Okay.
So like with Trinity, they're basically the team medic, but they're in lore is that they also act as a vampire.
Neat.
Yeah, Excalibur is the swordsman. Mag has control over magnetic forces. Um, so like they can catch bullets and basically send them back. Is one of like the skills that they can use. Um, oh jeez, I'm trying. Rhino is basically Rhino is the dude that he's a ninja, yes, but he never stopped being the defensive lineman in a football game.
Okay.
He just fucking shoulder charges the shit out of everything. He hits hard and he doesn't stop. Um, true to his name, he is the Rhino. You also have I'm trying to just think off the top of my head of all the you had, oh geez, you had one that was a fucking Grim Reaper. He was trippy. I never actually got to play as him, but I had a random teammate that showed up, and the dude he snatched souls, and he would then take those souls and bring them back just to he would snatch souls just to bring them back as friendlies that would go around shredding everything else that was trying to fight us.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to fucking find what the heck the dude is. Okay, let's see. It's probably Necromancer then. Necros, there we go. Yeah, the dude looks like a Grim Reaper just by his art. Let me see. I'll send you this one too. Sorry, I'm nerding out over this unapologetically.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's just how does a like these dudes basically made a free to play game, and they just never stopped. They never stopped being good. Like their only crime is that the game is grindy as hell.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah, but like, oh, it's so worth it though, because like you okay, you have the option to pay your way through everything, but if you don't want to pay, you can grind it. You can grind for everything. You can grind for the parts you need to build warframes. You can grind for the parts you need to build specific warframes. You can go on on raids to do to get specific parts so you can it's like everything has its way of getting done. And heck, if you're lucky, you may not even have to grind for it. You could go on the player market and someone's willing to sell you something they don't want. They like there's like trades happening all the time in the player market.
Very true.
Yeah, you've got people that are like selling really old shit for like a bunch of in-game currency, and if you get your hands on it, hey, here's this really old, broken, overpowered warframe that no one uses anymore just because they forgot about it, but they didn't want to get rid of it.
Some things don't change.
Yeah, but there's like, you know, every time they introduce new stuff, when it hits the moment it hits the game, okay, sure, there's some little quirks and gimmicks that make them a little too broken to where the game's unbalanced. Give it like one update later, everything's balanced and okay again.
Yeah, no, these guys really give a care, which is more than can be said about most AAA devs,
Yeah, and they've been at this shit for like well over a decade and a half now.
give or take.
Uh, like fuck, I thought Destiny was gonna give these guys a run for their money, and nah, that shit fell harder than that shit fell harder than Kratos jumping off the damn cliff.
Yep.
Let's see, take a quick look through more of Oh, I see your post from 2 hours ago.
What one's that?
Uh, People beating up on a kid just because they accidentally stepped on someone's new shoes.
Yeah, so I saw that change. Like, what the fuck, dude? The person steps in their shoes, so you have to commit assault? The fuck is wrong with you? I never understood sneakerheads, but shit like that really makes me understand them even less. Like, you're telling me you're gonna
See,
fucking beat the hell out of someone because stepped on your shoes? The fuck?
that's also one of those things where I'm like, cool, congratulations. If you feel like that's gonna be your response, it's like congratulations. You'll be treated as an adult when it comes time to hear your sentencing.
Yep.
Don't even play. Don't even act like you didn't know what you were doing, because obviously if you managed to get a bunch of people to follow you and you basically jumped, because that's basically what this is. That she got jumped.
Yeah, which is fucked up, but
Yeah,
entirely
over some
unsurprising.
fucking shoes. Yeah.
And shit like this I'm entirely unsurprised by now, especially
Yeah.
over shoes, because, like, it's another example of that slippery slope. Like, first it was just mild comments about shoes, and like, oh man, these things are great, like, I'd do anything about them. And now here we are, people getting jumped over shoes.
I remember, what was it, one time when I was in high school, I heard of someone who they kept getting beaten, bullied for the longest time, that the only way they felt safe was to actually take their parents' handgun.
It's horrifying, but
and
shit
and
like
this
that,
had been, yeah, I forgot how long this had been happening to them for, but it ended up with the kid that was being bullied all the dang time was the one that went to jail simply for having a handgun on them. No, not ignoring just simply ignoring the fact that the faculty knew, the administration knew, all the freaking students knew. Just nobody wanted to do anything about it. So this kid decided to take matters into their own hands, and at one point, you know, had the handgun on them at all times, and when she thought shit was about to pop off, is literally drawing the handgun to go ahead and defend herself.
I'm not surprised. It's
Yeah,
horrifying, but
and
it's.
the authorities are like, oh well, she shouldn't have had the handgun.
I'm not surprised by that either.
I was like, well, shit, dog. What, is she just supposed to die then? Because I thought it was, if the freaking authorities aren't going to help you, then what? You just. I guess I'll die.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Fucking
very twisted
depressing.
world we live in.
Yeah, it's also one of those things where I'm just like, cool. Yeah, I'm just I lived through that. I'm making sure my kids aren't living through that. So yeah, guess what, guys? You're all homeschooled.
Honestly, that's the best way to do it. Like either homeschool
Yeah,
or put your kid in a private institution, if at all possible.
yeah, and it's like granted, the quality of education that my little ones get is all dependent on how much effort I'm willing to put in, apart from the programs that they're using to do their learning.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that my kids are both very curious. One can't speak yet, but in time, I'm sure I'm going to be having to answer an endless array of questions. I already have to with the older one.
How come I have to wear my shoes?
Oh no, 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 no! I wish it was something that simple. No, he literally asks me, "What do I have to do to make a rocket fly?"
Ah, so your kid would like Kerbal Space Program, huh?
Yeah, this kid got into robotics early, and so I ended up buying him a little robotics kit that he could do with Legos. Um, what is it? At some point, I'm sure he's already getting curious about like what was it? The whole tinkering I was doing, trying to figure out my tech issues when I switched over to Mint. He actually sat next to me and watched me punching in random code in the terminal, trying to figure out what the heck was wrong.
Damn, that
And
he's gonna go places, huh?
yeah, he's just asking me, why are you doing that? How come we have to? How come you're having to punch that specifically? How come that doesn't make sense? I'm like, can you read anything that's on that screen? He's like, yes, and I can't. I don't understand what any of it does.
Points for honesty, huh?
Yeah, and I'm like, okay then. So I just had to start like whatever questions, just ask them, and I'm having to break it down for him. And finally, he's like, and then of course he hits me. He hits me with a line I wish I'd never taught him in the first place.
Oh yeah.
So is your modem military grade?
You mean
I'm like, no. I'm like, no, mijo, it's not military grade. It's just not playing nice.
every time I hear military grade, I just flash back to that one comment that I heard from a dude who actually was military, which is all military grade means is sold to the lowest bidder.
Yep, it was made cheaply and it was built cheaply
Yeah,
for the maximum price.
some things never change.
Yep.
If anything, I say they
So
get worse over the years.
yeah, so you can imagine my surprise when I'm being asked that question. I'm just like, wait a minute. It's like, no, I paid damn near $600 for this dang thing. It better be above military grade.
I paid, I think, about 80 for my router.
Yeah.
It,
It's what was it? So it's like I could have bought like your standard Asus stuff, but I decided if I'm gonna buy a new piece of electronic equipment, I'm making sure it's something that by the time I have to get rid of it, it's because it's absolutely not worth it to hold on to it anymore. So like $600 modem, yeah, I'm definitely holding on to it for a while.
my Asus router I got, like, that was 80 bucks. Like, I was lucky to be able to even get this, because, like, and I had
Mm-hmm.
to do, like, a lot of fucking convincing, because, like, that was for enough for up here. Like, I had to do
Yeah.
a lot of convincing, because I was just gonna be stuck with one of those cheap $20 Linksys piles of crap. And like we've had two or three of those over the years, and it's like, why would I want a router that doesn't even work properly half the time?
Right.
And like I had to like really fight tooth and nail and show like, all right, look, this is what this does. This is how much better this is for this thing, this
Yeah.
thing, this thing, and this thing, and this is how I'd use it. Please, for the love of Pete, can I get this router? And like even then, I do like a lot of freaking convincing, man. Because this one's got like 4 antennas on the back. Not sure if that makes it any better or not, but I get the full speeds that I get down in the house too.
Yeah. Uh. Yeah, and then with like mine, the I had to justify dropping $600 for this dang thing, and I just basically pointed out, look, the stuff that we keep, the stuff that we still have is pretty much, we got to keep it because we ended up paying for it because the ISPs at the time sold it to us. But
Okay.
we're at the point now where it's like I need equipment that I can use specifically, that I can tinker with inside and out. I can't really do much with this stuff because I can't reprogram any of it. The software is just it's just there's no software. It's just a bunch of circuit boards doing their job. I can't just rip it apart and resolder it because I don't have the means to do that.
Hmm.
And with the Asus router that I have, I can actually get into it and tinker around.
Okay.
Yeah. So that just made it worthwhile. But then on top of that, it's like cool. This is this has also got dedicated stuff that I wouldn't be able to get on. Like I basically had to convince and be like, if I buy this, I'm not getting rid of it for at least 15 years.
What year are you up to now?
Year three,
How's that working out for you?
pretty well. I just need to factory reset it most likely, and it'll be back to normal.
Okay.
Because like I did explain to you that it's not playing nice with Mint, so
Yeah, no, I remember that. I was just wondering if there was like just how long you've had the router.
yeah, it's been a good amount of time. Definitely worth it.
That's the
Oh
same
hey,
with this. Oh, sorry, you first.
oh no no no, I was just looking through stuff in the Helldivers page is updated. They've got a new war bond coming out called Democratic Detonation.
I'm sure that doesn't have any implications related to any new races or any of that coming in.
I mean, look at the armor sets: Demolition Specialist, Groundbreaker, Devastator, and the
Yep.
Devastator looks like a full-on EOD unit or Juggernaut.
Yeah, it's about right.
And let's see, you got a rifle called the Adjudicator. You have an exploding crossbow. You have a rifle called the Eruptor. You have a grenade pistol. Oh, they got a new booster called Expert Extraction Pilot, and they're
Nice.
now giving you a thermite grenade.
Sounds like a good time to me. I wonder what new
Yeah,
horrifying threats will be coming to you, Helldivers.
the Illuminate as everyone's guess.
Ah,
Yeah, because on the war map, it was essentially the Eastern Front was Terminids, and then the Western Front was automatons. But now that the automatons got completely ramrodded and they lost everything they had, they basically said, "Yeah, okay, cool, you won, congratulations." And then 24 hours later, "Hey guys, they're back, and turns out that they have the entire fleet with them this time. What we thought was just a vanguard. Uh, they are now directly invading and retaking their home planet, and you got to fight them."
always a
So
good time.
now, yeah, so now the war map is showing to the east is the Terminids still, to the north is the automatons, and now the entire western theater is completely open. They think that's where the Illuminates show up.
Okay.
Yeah, which there's already been people posting about how supposedly they've been sniped by a blue beam, but it
Interesting.
doesn't. Yeah, but when it describes what shot them, there's no information. It just says that a teammate shot them.
Interesting.
Yeah, which the Illuminate are infamous for being able to make sniper shots and then they're just ghosts in the field.
maybe it will be the Illuminids then.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Everyone's thinking that they're probably going to drop tomorrow, too.
Very possible.
You got anything else you want to talk about?
You ever play much in the Dreamcast era?
Oh, dude. Super Magnetic Neo. Oh, that was my jam.
I was always a Mortal Kombat Gold kind of person.
See, I didn't get to play those, but that's because also my parents did their job. They're like, no, 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 no.
See, I had the
Like,
opposite thing. Like, I was introduced to Mortal Kombat Deception at like age 6 or 7.
yeah. Yeah, my old man introduced me to the Sega Dreamcast because he played so I actually got my gamer introduction is thanks to my old man because he was playing um what was it? He got me into Doom 64 as a 3-year-old. I was fucking scared shitless of that game, but that was his jam. Doom 64. He
Very
also
nice.
had he also had a game that I didn't quite understand the point of it. I actually need to search up the name for it real quick. I think it was called Hybrid Heaven.
Watch
Yep,
this
there
be
it
like
is.
a. Okay, I'm listening.
It was a turn-based RPG. There we go. It was released in 1999. Yep.
Also, just before the turn, or just before the millennium.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
It was and it fucking lives up to its name though because it was an action adventure game that also had uh role playing aspects to it because of the turn based combat.
Interesting. That sounds pretty
Mm-hmm.
fun.
Yeah, there was aliens involved and uh you could do uh uh what was it? You could do like real time attacks, but you could shift around so you didn't get hit. But then as you like walked up and got within combat range of someone, you could choose to start doing like, you would take your turn and do your action economy to like start, you know, punch left arm, uppercut, what was it, uppercut to the head, some what was it, suplex, and there was all this different stuff, and you also had like, oh yeah, I cast gun, and then it didn't matter where the hell they were standing, there was an instant hit.
That's like the joke with the barbarian going, I have magic. See? Cast iron.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know if I ever
Um.
asked you. Oh, sorry, you
Hmm.
first.
Go no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I said, I don't know if I've ever asked you this, but do you play any racers?
So growing up, my favorite games to play were Need for Speed 2. At one point, I played Need for Speed Most Wanted. I think when the PS3 first came out, I actually played Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, and I also played what was it called? Split Second.
Oh, very good games.
A lot of people didn't like Split Second for some reason.
I can see why, because, like, if you're not you like, or that's the Disney racer, right?
That one, I don't know who made Split Second actually. I think I have it in this pile back here. Yeah, I do.
It- Hold on. Because if
It
that's the
was
game, sorry, you first.
it was made by Black Rock Studio.
Interesting. Like, that game sounds familiar. I gotta look that up.
Yeah, it was a very cinematic heavy game. That's the thing, because so you would be racing at high speed with like all these different muscle cars and sports cars, but if you played your cards right, you could cause shit to happen. Like, what was it? One of them was a freaking a freaking cargo plane, like a military cargo plane, would come in and just crash into the airport that you were racing through, and if you timed it correctly, you would be the first one to make it out of the airport. Meanwhile, everyone else just totaled their cars because they had a giant cargo plane land on top of them and explode.
I
And
remember
like,
this game now. That's
yeah,
a sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it was a fun game.
Yeah, it was. Depending on how exaggerated the action that you managed to pull off was, it would completely restructure the level of the game. So it's like, congratulations, you just totaled the entire competition. However, they will respawn in like the next 15 seconds, and we just restructured the entire level. Good luck figuring out how to stay ahead.
Shit like that is cool. I wish more like games in general would do something like that. Like you think outside the box and just do something like that. Boom,
Oh yeah,
everything's changed. Good luck. Like I love shit like that in video games, and it's a shame a lot of games don't do stuff like that.
yeah,
Hell, it's one of the reasons why I like classic GTA games, because like you did something like it for a mission or whatever, and that would be like on the radio. The world would be reacting to what you just did.
yep.
The hell
It
happened?
was that was one of the reasons why I actually like that game, is because it did, granted, once you got used to it the first time, it was pretty easy to figure out, but I did like that new way of doing things. I know it wasn't a racer, but one of the games that I really liked playing was Twisted Metal.
It's a great game. Like I
Yeah.
still go back and play the second one.
Twisted Metal World Tour, Twisted Metal 1, and Twisted Metal Black.
Good games.
Yeah, I wish that they'd made a Twisted Metal Black too. They it was in development and everything, and then they just never did it.
Some things never change. It's one of the reasons
Yeah.
why, like, even though I know in my heart of hearts we'll never get it, and if we do, it'll be a shadow of its former self, I still hope to see Star Wars 1313.
Oh, dude, fucking yeah! Don't even get me started on 1313. But what was it? One of the things that irritated me the most about the whole shit with Black 2 was the fact that if you had a copy of World Tour, um, depending, I don't remember which version of or like if there was a secondary version of it. I don't remember if it was titled differently, but you have a version of World Tour where you could play World Tour, or you could play the demo that they made like a partial demo of Twisted Metal Black 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got to play, what was, I think you got to play. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so you had World Tour. You had the option to play World Tour. You could unlock playing um what was it, a level from the Twisted Metal Black series that got cut from the original game, and then you had the access to play the demo. And the demo started off with a letter to the players, basically explaining to everyone wondering, this is, this is what happened with Twisted Metal Black 2. It never reached development stage, but we had a demo made anyway, and we thought it was a good idea to put it in with this game so you guys could have seen what we had in mind. We very much wanted to put in all these new elements, and this is what the demo is basically going to be showcasing. And it was like to our fans who loved the original game for Twisted Metal Black, here's a sneak peek of what would have been. And it's basically where they were building up from Twisted Metal Black was the fact that now you actually had the option to free roam separate from your vehicle rather than just free roaming in Twisted Metal Black.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, so there was like what was the whole demo starts with you being lower. You're stuck inside like like an electric chair style harness, and you're being lowered into a well as a Sweet Tooth in a prison. And
Interesting.
then you break free and you're trying to escape the prison, and as you're going around, if you run into NPCs that they're supposed to be the guards that attack you, you could just straight up eviscerate them as you're trying to make your way out of the prison. And then, like, you make it to your car, the level ends, and the idea is that one the it would be like a cycle in and out, where like one level you're on foot, the next level you're on your vehicle, or maybe there's like a few levels where you're on foot and there's a level where you're on your vehicle, or there's a few vehicle levels and then a level on foot.
That probably would have flopped.
Honestly, from how I remember the demo playing, I would have loved to have played it because it was fucking intense.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And it was in third person, so and the idea was that, like, was it Sweet Tooth had his own like set of like tools and whatnot, and stuff that he could do, and I think each character would have their own tool set that they could use to survive the levels.
Okay.
Yeah. And then go figure, they make a new Twisted Metal for what I think it was for the PS4.
I know they had for the PS3 and the Xbox 360, just called Twisted Metal.
Yeah,
That
that one
was
flopped real fucking bad though.
it was not a good game. Like I actually got the chance to play it at one point, and yeah, it deserved to flop.
Like, I played the demo, I liked the demo, but then the game actually comes out and it was bullshit. And like I got to see I even got to see like, okay, the demo. The one thing I didn't like, I thought it was okay. Like, we're gonna give you a smattering of what the game could look like. So I thought, okay, you could just try out different vehicles. No, you had the option to use different vehicles. So if you played as, say, you were part of the Sweet Tooth gang or whatever, you didn't drive. You didn't have to drive the ice cream truck. You could drive literally anything else.
All I'm
But
gonna say is,
yeah, go
look,
ahead.
look how they massacred my boy. Okay, that's a terrible impression, but Godfather. I mean,
Yeah, look how they massacred my boy. Oh man.
man, so many good games and so many good franchises that are just gone now because of just either
Hmm.
poor mismanagement, not listening to their fans, or just sheer stupidity. It's sad.
Oh,
It
this is fucking ridiculous. I'm looking at the Wikipedia article for it. It's the second reboot for Twisted Metal Black.
That was a reboot for Black?
Mm-hmm. It was a horrible fucking reboot if that's the case.
How do you fuck up that badly?
Uh-huh. And then, of course, look, gameplay focuses heavily on multiplayer vehicular combat. So you had 16 players online, 4 player split screen. Online gameplay was discontinued in early 2019. What was the plot? You had the twisted fate of Sweet Tooth the Clown, Mr. Grimm's dark trip back. Oh, so I guess Mr. Grimm was just, he's gonna time travel back to stop his old man from accidentally offing himself in a tragic stunt accident.
I don't even remember that stuff. Like, all I remember was just like some really shitty cinematics and some piss poor gameplay.
Uh-huh.
That was
I
easily.
remember.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I was like, the thing that irritated me a lot is like, you had, oh, here's a 50 cal, barely does any damage. Oh, but if you hit that red bar in part of as you're trying to charge up the if you as the idea was that, oh, if you charge up this bar, the shot is way more accurate. But somehow, if you manage to land on the red bit in the bar, now you have an incendiary round in your 50 cal, and that does, you know a stupid amount of damage that it has no right to.
That's hot, bruh.
The mechanics didn't make any sense. And then, oh, if you're driving the ice cream truck, guess what? You get a mech suit.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty cool because the mech suit is a thing that's happened in a different game. It's just that with this one, it's like, okay, cool. The mech suit is running, but you don't have that many options for weapons. I remember the other games when you had the mech suit for Sweet Tooth's ice cream truck, that thing had no shortage of weapons.
get
Your
another
biggest
gritty
problem,
reboot.
yeah, that's like your biggest problem was just running out of ammo.
What the hell happened, man? Like, I know, like, I keep asking this question, but, like, it, man,
Yeah, here, let me look up references real quick. See what.
like, I almost wonder, like, going back to our whole bridge point, that being, like, at least since '08, is that why we started getting all these shitty, dark, and gritty reboots and sequels?
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. What's this? Why does it say related PlayStation All Stars? Did they seriously put? Oh, for fuck's sake! I hope not.
It wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
Oh, there's a Twisted Metal TV show. Actually, from what little I have seen of that show, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's got, what, Samoa Joe, Will Arnett,
Mm-hmm.
and,
Mm-hmm.
like, that other guy, Anthony Mackie.
Yep.
The only thing I remember of that show is the thong song.
Yeah. Are you a fan of the silver-haired god? Yeah, yeah, man. He's like, oh, sweet. Lets him go. He's like, hey, buddy, what's up? Oh no, he was in the game, and they made him look unthreatening. They made him look all cartoony.
That's about right.
Man, come on! You killed one of my favorite characters, Sony. All because you wanted to do your own version of fucking Smash Bros.
I keep forgetting All Stars exists, man, because, like, yeah, no.
Oh wow, Cat from Gravity Rush is in it.
Hey,
Jack and
they had
Daxter's in it.
a very good, like a very good, set
Holy
cast.
shit! Here's a game that I didn't think I'd ever see again.
What's that?
It's called Heavenly Sword.
Oh man, I remember hearing people talk about Heavenly Sword like it was the greatest thing. Was it?
See, I never got to play it, but I saw the trailer for it, and at one point I thought, oh hey, is this a trailer for a different God of War game?
Yeah.
Because in the trailer you're just seeing her. It's like this one lady that's the main character versus an entire military, and she's literally surrounded, and she's just doing like apparently she's just unable. They're unable to get close enough to actually hit her because she fights just like Kratos does apparently.
I don't think I want to see that crossover.
I I would fucking love to see that crossover, but it doesn't matter now. It's like I don't know if they would ever bring that back, and honestly, I don't want them to because they probably fuck it up.
Yeah, one thing you can trust game companies nowadays to do is fuck things up.
I don't know. Heihachi was in this.
I mean, it's a PlayStation property. Why would Heihachi not be on it? Is why he was on the like the version of Soul Calibur 2 that was on the PS2.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just like he's a Tekken character. It's like they probably made him. I hope it's not a thing where like you play a Tekken character thinking, oh, I know how to play him, and then you realize he's just a trash tier character because they couldn't they could not afford to make him overpowered for the people who actually know how to play him.
Yep.
Dante probably did the same thing. Colonel Radek, okay. Hey, the Big Daddy's in here. Kratos is in it. Nathan Drake's in it. They put Parappa in the game?
Yep.
Put Raiden.
As in Mortal Kombat's Raiden, or you mean like Raiden from Metal Gear Solid?
Metal Gear Solid.
Ah.
Sackboy's in it. Oh, wow. Here's another game I didn't think I'd ever see again. It's I don't know if you ever played it. It's called Medieval. It's a PS1 game.
It sounds familiar. It's either in my backlog or I have played it.
The main character is Sir Daniel Fortescue, and he's a dude in a suit of armor with no helmet, and he is just a fucking skull with a pair of eyes. And
Interesting.
he doesn't even have his lower jaw. That's the other part too.
Okay.
Yeah, he got revived. Apparently, because of a technicality, he's not able to. What was it? Basically, it's like English Valhalla. He couldn't enter English Valhalla because there was a technicality on how he died.
Go figure.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, cool. Here's a threat that's coming. You gotta go stop it. You do this, and you are allowed into Valhalla, and you can take your rightful place amongst everybody. And it's like, apparently, your technicality fucked you over so bad that you find out even your apprentice managed to get himself in somehow.
Damn.
And he was just a dude with a little crossbow.
If it works, I guess.
Yeah. My favorite bit though is like the dude keeps stammering, and at one point, Fortescue's just like grunting, "Get on with it." It's like my freaking dialogue for Fortescue was awesome because there was just times where the dude would just he was not there to deal with people's shit. He's just like, "All right, get on with it. What do you need me to do?"
See, shit like that's I like that kind of dialogue. 'Cause, like, there's nothing worse than just like the fucking dragging shit out and all, the stuff like, yeah, yeah, so and so and so and so. I met them over at so and so. I saw their sister, their cousin's dog, blah blah blah. Oh, and I think I saw a solar eclipse, blah blah blah. Get on
Yeah,
with it. Yeah, no, I get you.
yeah, yeah. That shit's funny because he's like, at one point they're like, you accidentally released like these four demons out of the tomb that they were sealed into, and it's someone goes, "Oh no, you fool! What have you done?" And just Fortescue's like, "You guys sent me on this mission. What the fuck is wrong with you?" Essentially, like he's just sighing, like, "Man, I don't get paid enough for this bullshit."
You people are getting paid?
It's just the like interactions like those, like heck, even with like Jack and Daxter, or like the plot twist is that like the freaking gun, or was it? There was this one blonde chick that everyone thought, oh, she's just there to look pretty, and you come to find out in the third game, no, she is like the freaking gun nut of the entire crew, to where she actually scares Jack, and Daxter falls in love with her.
Nice.
And mind you, Daxter is still like this little teeny tiny animal because he got cursed with the dark eco from the first game.
That would be a kind of awkward relationship to explain at the family reunion.
Well, I mean, at the end of the third game, because you basically did your thing. You saved the world, but then like the animal that Daxter turned into, it turns out they're actually a race of aliens that their whole job was to figure out a way to destroy this like other race of aliens that were just going around trying to destroy everything. You ultimately face off against one of their satellites, or what is it? It's weird. There's like this armada that gets dropped in, and you somehow single-handedly destroy it. It was a whole deal, and when you're done with that, it's like, oh hey, guess what? Um, you managed to prevent catastrophe, and you successfully uh set things in motion to where now the universe is safe.
Nice.
Congratulations, you can join us and leave this world. And it's like you see this rocket leave. Daxter's all sad because his best friend is leaving, and then he just appears out of a cloud of smoke from all the exhaust from the rocket boosters, and he goes, "Yeah, no, I'm not about to leave here. We finally can relax for once in our lives."
So it's just a nice conclusion then.
Yeah, and then you just see Daxter's like, what was it? I could have sworn Daxter at one point actually gets changed back to his actual form, but I think he either chooses to stay as he is, or he can switch in and out of it at will.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I know they did a fourth game too, but that was for like the PSP. I never actually got to play it. Actually, let's see. See, Jack and Daxter Precursor Legacy, Jack 2, Jack 3, Jack X Combat Racing. Okay, so I did play that one. That was actually pretty cool.
Are you talking Jack and Daxter: The Lost Frontier?
Yeah, The Lost Frontier. I never played that one.
Apparently, it's the sixth and final game.
Oh, shit. Oh, wow. I'm reading the synopsis. When their world begins to run low on eco, Jack, Daxter, and Kira travel to the brink, the edge of the world, in search of the ancient precursor machinery that can reverse this decline of eco. Wow. Okay, so that actually plays into like the whole lore for the world. And was it? I remember Daxter because that was one of the first games that released for the PSP, and it was you were basically you were an exterminator.
Okay.
Oh man, yeah, because you were this small little creature, so you could get all into these nooks and crannies. You could so like Dax when after was it when you go through the portal in the first game, it's actually a time portal, so you get spat out into the modern day where the second and third game take place. But in the meantime, Jack gets abducted. Well, he gets arrested and then experimented on, and for like I think it was 2 years or so, he's been experimented on, and he actually was experimented on with Dark Eco and whatnot, same as what happened to Daxter, except where Jack didn't turn into a creature, he now has this like feral form that you know, he attacks with, and he's always pissed off. And now he talks. He's not mute, which was weird.
Mm-hmm. That sounds
That's
very
like a
weird.
thing. Yeah, his torture, his like the experiments and everything, and the torture that he went through. He was so pissed. He actually was able to talk for once.
That's gotta be a wild thing. Like, your whole life you're silent, and all of a sudden, one day you get mad.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if they actually. Let's see. Jack, Daxter, Samos, Kira are thrust into the industrious Haven City after using the Rift Gate. With Jack being imprisoned by the Crimson Guard upon his arrival in the city, Jack is subjected to experiments with Dark Eco and is subsequently capable of using Dark Eco powers. Yep, and with Jack's help, he ends up being able to break out of prison. But then if you look at, was it no Daxter? And then when you look at Daxter, it says focuses. Okay, Daxter taking place during the 2-year gap introduced in the opening of Jack 2. Daxter is now employed as a pest exterminator by the Ritter Company.
Okay.
Yeah, you had metal heads that started off as metal bugs, and you're basically working as part of this extermination crew, killing these bugs while trying to figure out a way to find Jack and get him out of imprisonment.
That's gotta suck. Like, the
Oh,
game sounds fun, but like, I mean, like, from the character's perspective. Sorry.
yeah. So you're playing all of this from Daxter's perspective. The boss fights and everything were actually pretty freaking cool, because you had puzzles and stuff you had to do, but then when it came time to actually fighting things, the what is it? The little stuff you could take care of it no problem. When it came to the boss fights, you actually had to pay attention to what you were doing.
Which
Otherwise, you were gonna
is
have a bad time.
stuff like that is nice because, like, the thing I don't like about a lot of games now is they just handhold you the whole time.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
but like,
definitely.
at the same time, I don't like the other extreme, which is the Souls games. I mean, you can learn and all that shit from them and get it done, but like,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. Like, I prefer something right in the middle.
gotcha. So Jack 3, in the final boss fight, I made a mistake with something, and could not understand for the life of me why it wasn't working. There was an upgrade by the end of the game in the last boss fight that you got. It was basically you had a nuke.
Damn.
Yeah, so you had this like under barrel nuke that you could fire, and because I was a freaking ammo hoarder, yeah, because I was an ammo hoarder. I had so much of the nukes just on standby that I maxed out my ammo capacity.
Nice.
So I decided, oh hey, last boss fight, sweet. Let me just end this shit now. Nuke, 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 nuke. By the fourth one, I'm like, that has not taken any damage whatsoever. The nuke is an AoE. It's hitting everything. What the heck is going on with this last boss fight that I can't hit that thing? Then I realized, oh, I'm actually having to hit the weak spot on the back of the head of that giant mech that I'm fighting while standing on its back.
Fun.
That complicates things because now I'm actually having to aim where I got so like the game is basically punishing me for becoming too dependent on AoE attacks.
That's about right.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where like some boss fights you could get away with certain tactics. Other boss fights you were brutally punished for being too dependent on specific tactics. Um
Smart.
yeah, and then Jack X Combat Racing was fucking awesome.
It sounds it. A lot of these old
Yeah.
like racers attached to these franchises were always really good.
Yeah, that was like what was it? You had power ups and whatnot, but your power ups was basically you picking up ammo to load into your onboard weapon systems. Um, what was it? I think at one point you had a specific race that was called there was a game mode where it's basically a hybrid of a race and a demolition derby.
Interesting.
So you either survive long enough to cross the finish line or you're the last man standing.
I, li- I
So
like games like that.
yeah. So if you could figure out a way to get the most of a head start as possible, you never got to see a fight. But then again, there were times where you know you could be so far ahead it didn't matter because the objective would be get as many kills as possible. So you had to be in the pack. So you didn't have the option of I'm gonna just stay out of the fight and stay ahead of everybody. No, you have to be in the middle of the fight, otherwise you're not gonna win because you have to meet prerequisites before you hit the finish line.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, there was one level I remember though where like half I think it was either halfway or a quarter of the way through the fight. Um, no, actually I take that back. At the very beginning of the race, you pick up your first power up. You get ready to line up your shot and you start opening fire on someone and you realize your weapon systems have been tampered with.
Oh,
Yeah, so now what's supposed to be a demo race hybrid, now you're having to make damn sure you cross that finish line or you're last man standing because you don't have a weapon system to fight with. And the unfortunate part about that is that your weapon system is also tied to the shield generator. So even if you had a shield power up, doesn't matter. That thing's not coming online because your weapon system got tampered with. And
so
you get
base
like the most, huh?
so basically you had to do your very best.
Yeah. You had to like. But here's the thing: it's like by that point though, you're in the middle of the pack trying to open fire on someone, and now it's like, oh shit, I am exactly where I don't need to be right now because I have no way of fighting anyone. All of a sudden, you need to get your ass out of there somehow. But thing is everyone has weapons on you.
Damn.
So yeah, it was wild to say the least. It was a wild ride. It was a wild game, and I loved every second of it.
Understandable. Yeah, that sounds like a hell of a good time.
Yeah. And the intro, I think the intro sequence for the game before you even get to the start menu, it's it's Daxter in a bar telling a story, and everyone thinks he's bullshitting, to where someone's about to actually like start a bar fight, to kick his ass specifically when what was it? The entire wall next to where Dexter was standing explodes with what was it? It explodes. Here comes Jack's car, and he's immediately picking up Dexter, going, "We need to go. Someone's after us," and starts racing off with him. Blasting the other side of the blasting through the other side of the bar also.
Damn.
Yeah, and the whole time you've got this really kick-ass song playing in the background. I can't remember the song for the life of me though.
It happens. We all
I'm
have
gonna search
tastes
it
of
up real quick.
CRS.
Um, oh, I know. I'll just look up the. Let's see. Maybe it's this one. Commercials.
Ain't there always?
Yeah. Is it just me, or like the rate of ads gotten worse on YouTube lately?
They have, and they're starting to fuck with ad blockers again, so it's only gonna get worse.
Well, it feels like it's every, what was it? Every 3 minutes now. There's an ad, to where it's ruining just standard like videos that you didn't need to worry about a vibe being destroyed. Now it's just like, bro, I'm not here to look at your ads. I'm trying to learn something, and already it's hard to concentrate because the ads keep getting in the way.
There is a reason I keep advocating for ad blockers and figuring out how to get to avoid that shit because it is so bad at this point that yeah, like hell,
Yeah,
it's I'm starting to use things like sponsor block and whatnot when I watch videos because otherwise it's to the point where it's basically unwatchable. Even with the
yeah,
like the ones made by the actual YouTubers themselves that just break up the whole thing for the video, and it's like by the time that ad is done, like I've already lost interest in the original topic.
yeah. Oh geez, the freaking comments section for the full soundtrack for Jack X. First comment from 3 years ago. Criminally underrated game. This is basically the adult version of Mario Kart and Crash Team Racing. Can't explain it in any other way.
Nice.
Let's see. The mechanics are great. The weapons, the rules, the maps, are amazing with secret shortcuts everywhere. And finally, it's by Naughty Dog. Of course, it's going to be amazing. And the soundtrack is on fire. That
That aged poorly.
that aged poorly, yeah, because Naughty Dog is not just actively trying to burn themselves to the ground.
Naughty Dog is one of the biggest memes in gaming now.
Yeah. Let's see, where is.
By the way, for those of you guys wondering what my CRS comment meant earlier, CRS can't remember shit.
Uh,
What are you doing down there, Ken? Huh?
Damn, this has a lot of good Oh, because this is the OST. It's not the actual song that kicked off the menu.
Man, I'm glad that I have a couple of buckets already prepared and out.
Oh, is it raining over there?
Oh yeah, started earlier today, and it's not supposed to stop until Sunday. Thankfully, the plank where it drips from so far seems dry, but I know that'll probably be changed by the time I'm up in the morning.
Yeah, I've got neighbors out here who like their biggest complaint right now is that it rained so much that their front lawns and their back lawns are basically looking like lakes, and unfortunately the ground is not absorbing the water fast enough, so they've just got to deal with mud the entire time they're trying to drive out of their driveways.
Yeah, it's to the point here. I don't even get like bothered to fill in the holes in the thing anymore because the ground is so wet that it doesn't matter how much, gravel or
Yep.
anything that I throw into it, it's just a soupy mess. Hell, a lot of the roads are ridiculously washed out, and with this new storm, like it's gonna be even worse now. I wouldn't be surprised to see some places having to redo culverts, even though they just did that not too long ago again.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's weird.
It
You
is what it is.
you'd think the repairs would be something that can be made, but nah.
You'd think, but considering that they just took, like not too long ago, cash out of the fund meant for that and put it into the general fund where you know it's gonna disappear from, it's that ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah. Uh, it's a whole deal. Honestly, it's why I'm hoping that I get the job that I'm gonna get now.
Here's hoping you do get that job, man.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for my background check to finish, and that's it. Because it's like I found out, hey, you pay into a retirement fund whether you like it or not, and that's gonna be given back to you when it's time for you to retire. And I'm like, oh, cool. And no one can touch it except, actually, from what I read in the contract paperwork, the only I think what was it, the freaking state would have to go under for that fund to disappear.
Damn.
Yeah, but at that point, if the state goes under, the fund disappearing is the last of my problems.
Yeah, exactly. If the state goes under, you got way bigger fish to fry than whatever
It's
monopoly
like,
money happens to be in the air.
yeah, it's like, oh shit, we may be in trouble. It's
I mean, at that
like,
point, if it's already gone under, I think we're past the point of trouble.
yeah, it's like, who we piss off and how did everything fall apart so quickly?
Yep. I still can't believe all the eclipse conspiracy theories and shit going on, man. It's like that one tweet not too long ago said, like, we are still the 10th century peasants just with access to the internet.
Yeah, which is funny because you'd think that would actually give us that would give us some sort of boost, but no, it's not.
No, unfortunately, we're just getting dumbed down and down and down. And wow,
Yeah,
that
the
hole
food.
still goes that far deep.
It's like, hey guys, check it out. There's lead in this food. So that's why it tastes so damn sweet.
Yeah, lordy. It is fucking depressing. Anything else you wanted to talk about, bud?
Oh, that entire song starts off as a radio broadcast. Okay, so the first video I found was right.
Okay.
Okay, so the I guess the band is called Queens of the Stone Age.
Oh yeah, they're pretty popular. They've done quite a bit
Yeah,
of good music and they still make music.
yeah, and the song is "You Think I Ain't Worth a Dollar, but I Feel Like a Millionaire."
Nice.
And it opens with a drum sequence as Jax is telling the story that everyone is calling bullshit on. Mind you, this whole time Jax doesn't realize that someone poured him a cup of rat poison because
Damn.
the bottle that the dude is holding is red, but when you look from his side of things, it's actually got a big old crossbones on it, skull and crossbones.
Amazing.
And they're trying to get Jax to drink this shit, and he's just like, "Oh right, so let me tell you the story of when we first got here." And it's like these dudes are just trying to fucking kill Jax the whole time.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's like Oh yeah, the whole story that Jax is telling. Yeah, these guys are in on it too. The whole city's trying to freaking kill Jax and Daxter.
Good shit.
It's like it's because they're basically in the middle of a mafia-run city. Like I think technically even the races were also like mafia rigged in some way, shape, or form. It's because what was it? One of the characters from Jack and Dax was it Jack 2? The this one crime lord who actually is willing to help you out in exchange for some favors. Um, you come to find out that this dude when he passes away, his daughter ends up inheriting the entire crime syndicate,
Damn.
and she played like she didn't know what was going on, and you are basically having to race for your life because everyone drank a poison.
Damn.
Yeah. And you come to find out that homegirl had instructions to where she had to pour her drink a certain way so that she didn't get poisoned.
That's from Assassin's Teapot then?
Yeah. Yeah, and it was a whole deal because at the end of it she's fully inherited the crime syndicate, and she's on a phone call with someone, and on the other end I guess the question is asked, should we eliminate the team? And she goes, "No, they fulfilled their purpose. They're not going to get in my way, and if they do, we'll take care of them when we get to that point."
Okay.
And she's already speeding away, so whatever hope that Jack and the guys have to stop her has pretty much gone out the window.
Yeah.
Because they're still being floored by the fact that she had instructions to not poison herself on accident.
That's about right.
And it's like, oh shit, y'all need to leave town because that is not where you need to be right now. That whole
Mm-hmm.
town is in on it.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. It was a cool story though. Like the plot, just the final plot twist of like, man, that ended like Scary Movie did, where you find out that the bad guy is actually the dude no one suspected.
I haven't seen Scary Movie in years. Eh, it is what it is. Anything you want to say before I wrap things up for the night?
Um, uh, Eat a salad. Stay away from mass produced food that's on a shit. If you didn't get it out of the vegetable aisle or out of the meat section where it's fresh meats that have to get cycled out on the daily, and you have to cook it yourself to eat it, don't eat it.
Any parenting advice that you'd like to give?
Parenting advice: have a lot of patience because your kids will figure out how to push your buttons, and they will figure out what gets you going.
Alright, and
You're
on that
supposed
note,
to. Oh
sorry.
yeah,
No, it's fine.
I
Keep
was gonna
on
say,
going.
yeah, I was gonna say you're supposed to discipline your kids, not get angry at them. So like, granted, a lot of people seem to think that okay, being angry at them is discipline. No, you can talk to them and be like, yo, this is let me break it down for you. This is how it's gonna work, and you gotta clean up your act because it's it's one thing for you to act this way, but if you keep going down this path, it's not going to be a good thing for you later on because you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn real quick that the real world doesn't care what you think.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
No matter. I got one. No matter how bad things seem, they will get better. You just gotta keep on staying strong for everyone else. There are people out there who care about you, and if y- if you're worried and you're having a bad day, call a friend, call a family member. There are people out there who care about you, and there's people out there, such as your friends and your family members, who could use your presence. Just even saying hi can make a hell of a difference. Would you agree with
Yeah.
that?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So on that note, thanks for listening.